Doctor.
Yo, what up? What up? What up? Y'all know the deal, man. Like and share, like and share, like and share, so we can get this thing out everywhere. There's anywhere in the world it could be, but just be right here with me, the BABGOG, and I appreciate y'all for pulling up on me. What's going on, man? Yeah, hey, man, you gotta keep the braids fitted. You know what I mean? If you from Georgia, man, you gotta have the braids fitted. I don't fuck with baseball at all, but you gotta have the braids fitted, man. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. What's going on with y'all? Let me take these off so niggas gonna be like, Fantastic got beat up overnight and no shit. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't got no black eyes and then the nigga just trying, you know what I'm saying? Just put some shades on, you know. I gotta cover my bases because niggas is weirdos when it come to me. Let me see. Where we at? Now, this whole let me talk about the WNBA, man. I didn't care about the WNBA before, had no opinion of it because I wasn't aware and nobody talked about it, right? But there are certain things in your life, you know what I'm saying, that you're forced to pay attention to, and then your indifference or your not caring turns into dislike and borderline hate. I fucking hate the WNBA now because now not only is it this horrible basketball, right? Terrible basketball being played. Again, you can see better basketball at your local high school boys game, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not getting into that. But this WWF, WCW, like character building and beef building they're trying to use with this whole Caitlin Clark and Angel Resse thing. First and foremost, bro, Angel Resse is a great rebounder. That's it. Okay. Instead of Angel Resse had some footage showing to where she was working with Lisa Leslie for like a day or some shit towards the end of the year, right? Getting closer to the season when we saw her on podcasts, where she was at the Met Gala. She's doing everything but working on her fucking game, bro. It's atrocious. Angel Resse is horrible, okay, as anything other than a rebounder. And what makes it horrible is, at least if you even look at the elite rebounders on the men's side, if all you could do was rebound for the most part, except with like maybe fucking now Rudy Gobert, right? If all you could do was rebound, that's what you did. You didn't try to fucking, score. You didn't try to get the ball and demand the ball, or get at the top of the key and try to drive and ball handle. Y'all have ruined the Angel Resse, okay? Y'all, whatever her fucking fan club is, again, man, we're gonna run this down for y'all again. No one knew who Angel Resse was, okay, until she had the fucking run in with Caitlin Clark. I'm saying it again. Outside of people outside of Louisiana, I never ever in my life heard of Angel Resse. All right. Caitlin Clark, I heard of like a few years before, right? Because they was talking about this white girl that's just doing all these things. I'm like, and I think she broke the record for college points overall, right? Because but I think that happened that same year or something like that. But either way it go, they was talking about she was on par. So I was made aware of Caitlin Clark way before she played against LSU in the championship game or whatever, right? Once you put the racial angle on some shit, niggas cannot resist it. I'm gonna say this again. Once you put the racial angle on some shit, niggas cannot resist it, especially if it's a black woman and a white woman, Miss Ann motherfucking syndrome to the fullest, right? This is why I say black people have to abstain from anything like race related for some time, bro. It's some shit that's so bad, right? And hold on, let me come on, always, man. Shout out, shout out, shout out. Shout out to Creed. Love the lady with money. Always supporting me. Always coming through, baby. The 50 ball. Y'all know, putting the motherfucking club soda on it early in the morning.
That's $25,000 alpaca. You block that shit. Right. You don't rubble. Put the club soda on there.
Spreading positive vibes and wishing everyone a fabulous Friday. It's my birthday. Creed, happy birthday. Why the hell you give me money on your birthday? I'm going to send that back, Creed. Come on now. Come on, Creed. You can't be sending me money on your birthday, goddamn. Shit. Jesus Christ, Creed. I appreciate you, man. Even on her day, she blessing everybody else, man. Shout out to Creed, man. I ain't gonna ask how old you are. You're gonna ask the lady's age, but shout out to Creed. Yeah, bro, and it's horrible. It's horrible, man. Terrible. Terrible, bro. But what was I saying? Angel Resse got fame from Caitlin Clark, not the other way around. But niggas, niggas, right? Got obsessed once you had this whole back and forth between her. And then if you ever go back and you look at the shit properly, again, it's been explained. Caitlin Clark never did the can't see me shit to Angel Resse. She never did it to her. Angel Resse walked her down though and had to do it in her face and kept doing it and all this other shit. And because again, you cannot be critical, you cannot be honest about the behavior of black women, niggas just ran with it. Niggas ran with it and even followed it over to the WNBA. Okay. Last year was the most money the WNBA has ever made on record. This is with Cheryl Swoops. This is with Candace Parker, Lisa Leslie. This is with even Aja Wilson. No one gave a fuck about the WNBA till Caitlin Clark got there. Caitlin Clark bought her fan base. And you know what's so crazy? I'm seeing people walk around with motherfucking Caitlin Clark jerseys on now. Women, I'm actually seeing most white women, of course, walk around with Caitlin Clark motherfucking jerseys and shirts and whatever. So Caitlin Clark literally changed the WNBA. Undeniable, right? But the WNBA is such a woke league, right? The NBA uses the WNBA to promote any type of wild shit that they know won't really go too far in the NBA, and they paid for it. Remember, with the whole bullshit they pulled in the bubble, the NBA had a major decline in viewership and support since the bubble because they did all of the BLM shit and the George Floyd shit, and they did the shit. Remember when the WNBA did this shit for the dude that got shot by the cops, but come to find out that, you know, he was violating a restraining order and he was attempting to kidnap kids and all this other shit. But you had dumbass WNBA players wear a shirt with bullet holes in the back of it, you know, when the nigga was, you know, had a knife, pulled a knife on the police, wrestled with the police, 2 cops. Yeah, you know, all that shit, right? Hey, yeah. TLP, I didn't get the you know, I bought these when I was in Atlanta, right? You know what I'm saying? I got these when I was in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? A little YSLs or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get a chance to rock them because I fucked my back up. So today I'm just, you know, I'm making up for lost time. You know what I'm saying? I gotta keep me some, you know, nice little shades. Gotta keep me a pair of shades. You say you seen dudes wearing CC jerseys? Yeah, I ain't seen that yet. I ain't seen that go that far, but yeah. Yeah, shout out to Jacob Blake, the Jacob Blake dude. Yeah, piece of shit, right? WNBA supported that. So, when it comes to, you know, LGBT stuff and racial stuff or whatever, the WNBA is going to be the forefront for it, right? Being that no one cared about the WNBA and the very, very small support that it had mostly went to the black female players and or the lesbians, right? The WNBA was fine. Caitlin Clark comes though, and she literally fucking flips over the apple cart because she's a straight white woman that is one of the best players in the league, hands down. Okay. Now, she's in the same draft class as this Angel Resse chick, right? That's the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst. So, so many things about promoting black women, sexualizing herself, then complaining about being sexualized. You know, all this shit, right? Y'all blew her fucking head up. This shit we talking about, y'all talking about blowing up a hoe's head. That's what y'all did to Angel Resse. Y'all told her she was so fine and she was so sexy and she was so this. Which again, bro, come on. What are we doing? No. Am I saying she's unattractive? No. But like a bad bitch? Nah. And most of you niggas wouldn't like a tall bitch in the first place. My understanding is Angel Resse is like 6'3". So most of you niggas gonna cancel her on that. Outside of climbing that tree, you're not trying to be in a relationship with no bitch that's 6'3", bro. Come on. Stop. All right. But that's where we are, right? And then of course, we get into this whole thing because Angel Resse performs a dirty play. Caitlin Clark responds. The internet gets hold of it, and of course, they only pay attention to the part where Caitlin Clark allegedly viciously attacked fucking Angel Resse, which is just a regular foul. Angel Resse clearly flops. If you ever play any basketball, you're like, bro, why? How do we even get here? This is a regular basketball play. And RG3 made the most valid points, but we'll play it all, man, and we'll get to it. Yeah, hit the like button, man. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. No, it's not a dream. What the fuck? No. That's the wrong one. All right, here you go. Here you go. Cool. Hmm.
Rebecca Allen.
All right, so I don't know if you saw this. I'm gonna slow it down. Okay, slow it down a little bit so you guys can see this shit. All right, go ahead, just a little bit more.
Rebecca Allen.
That is a full push. Okay. Not only did she lean on her, she put both her forearms on her and fully extended her hands and pushed the girl, right? Almost into her own teammate. She could have injured her teammate in this situation if you know, could have made a high appearance in her knee anyway, but neither here nor there, right? Now, watch Caitlin Clark's reaction.
Too strong.
Caitlin Clark points. Caitlin Clark is pointing. He's like, hey, You missed this fuck. You clearly missed this blatant ass push. She literally pushed this girl in the back. You can clearly see it. If you can't see it, you could say you can't see it because you're being blocked by the other player. But your ass can see it. Okay. She's pointing to the nearest official, being like, hey, you're not gonna call that push in the back? That's a motherfucking loose ball foul. Clear as day.
Number 3.
And listen, she grabbed her arm and Caitlin and fucking Angel Resse flops. What are we doing? Going for the ball, but grabbed her arm so she didn't get an easy layup, which, I mean, no layup for Angel Resse is easy. But, hey, you got to earn the shit at the free throw line.
And look out, Caitlin Clark pushes Angel Resse, and Angel Resse gets right up into Caitlin Clark. And afterwards has something to say as
Caitlin
Clark
took the basketball
walks
and goes
away.
out her way. Angel Resse doing all this
There are
doing all this
always increased eyeballs, energy, and attention around the matchups between Resse and Clark, and Angel Resse is still going after Caitlin Clark in the aftermath.
Everyone in the arena had to know this foul was coming. As soon as you saw Angel Resse wide open, you knew that Caitlin Clark was going to come in and take that foul.
Well, tension's high.
And again, man, the WNBA made this shit a whole bunch of nothing into something, right? Stupid shit. That, hey, I would who you looking for somebody to disagree with you? You looking for somebody to disagree to you, P? This is why LeBron will never be better than Kobe. Oh, dog, me too, bro. I'm telling you. This shit's crazy. MJ Hines is what I'm saying, right? But anyway, we get into this whole thing, right? Which leads to our man RG3 giving his commentary, right? RG3 gives his commentary.
So where was this type of reaction last year when Angel Resse got chokeslammed by Alyssa Thomas of the Connecticut Sun? Y'all remember that? She got fouled so hard, they kicked Aaliyah Thomas out the game with a flagrant 2 foul.
Again, man, the issue with niggas is niggas don't know how to stop being emotional, right? Niggas don't know how to have legitimate, logical conversations, debates, disagreements. RG3 asked a simple question. He's talking about the game of basketball, and he's right. Last year, that bitch got slung to the motherfucking floor like a rag doll. None of this energy on her end. None of this focus from the WNBA. Clear, just blatant. You know what I mean? And it was none of this shit. So now you get Caitlin Clark to give her a motherfucking foul after she pushed her teammate in the back, going for the ball, nothing around the head, neck area, none of this shit, right? And now this done turned into this big investigation of racial sounds and racial things being said, which don't fucking exist. They never happen. Yo, what's going on with you, bro? Shout out.
What did Angel Resse do? Nothing. She didn't get up and try to swing on her.
Exactly. Nothing. She didn't want no smoke. And she was hurt. She really was hurt on that one. That wasn't no flop. You couldn't flop.
You know why? The reaction was different because of who did it. And there is a lot of history there with Caitlin Clark and Angel Resse. You guys remember last year when Angel Resse celebrated Kennedy Carter getting that flagrant foul on the hip check against Caitlin Clark? You remember that? On the sideline, just, yeah, Yeah, baby, get her. You get her. Who celebrates like that for a flagrant foul on another player if they don't dislike that player? Okay, you want some more evidence? Here's some more evidence. Remember last year when they were talking about who gets the credit for the expansion and the eyeballs and the popularity boost of women's basketball? Not just the WNBA, but women's basketball.
Now listen, whole time he got his wife sitting back here. I don't watch RG3, but I imagine with those chairs being there, this isn't the first time she's done it. So not only is RG3 giving an accurate assessment and saying the truth about motherfucking, or I won't say the truth, but a justifiable opinion, okay, about Angel Reese's take with Caitlin Clark. He got the white woman in the background. How dare you, nigga? How dare you? You talking bad about a black woman in front of your white woman? How dare you? That's it right there. MMATL. There you go.
In general, because of the spike in the women's NCAA tournament and in WNBA viewership, a lot of people were attributing that to Caitlin Clark, and rightfully so.
Yes, not only attributing to it. Once Caitlin Clark, she made the team made it to the playoffs, and once Caitlin Clark's team was out of the fucking playoffs, WNBA viewership dropped by 50%. 50%. For every game that Caitlin Clark played in, it was record-setting numbers for whatever arena it was. Okay, to the point of where when somebody did have higher numbers without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA tried to promote it to take away from her impact on the league. I don't know what the fuck the whole NBA and WNBA just need to be new commissioner, revamped, and everything. For me, for sure, there's so many issues and problems and conflicts of interest in the WNBA because, for one, it's not making no money. One, okay. Two, not only is it not making no money, but you're allowing the players to fund a competitive a league that would compete with your league. NBA players can't do that shit. Remember when Kyrie was talking about the NBA players forming the motherfucking, that was a big part of too that people forget about the Kanye hate. It wasn't just him talking about, black people are the real Jews and shit like that, right? It was him trying to promote the players of the NBA creating their own fucking competition for the NBA, which could have easily been done. But I promise you, the NBA is not going to allow that shit. Even if it's not in the bylaws of the players agreement, the way that the NBA is structured and the clout it has with all these other things, they're never going to let those dudes do that shit, bro. Right? But and so the way the WNBA is run, the finances of it, the wild shit they let a lot of players to do and the support they give to the nonsense. Yeah, man, they're not trying to make no money. They're not trying to make no fucking money, bro.
This is what Angel Resse had to say, and I quote, "People are talking about women's basketball. You never would think they'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to the games. We got celebrities coming to the games, sold out arenas just because of one single game. Just looking at that, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on to be that for my teammates. I know I'll go down in history. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, the reason we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too. I want y'all to realize that."
Angel Resse is one of the biggest jokes of basketball overall, but again, it's really not her fault. You niggas did this. Niggas created this Frankenstein. Niggas created this monster. Y'all convinced this girl that she's not even in the same room, in the same sentence with Caitlin Clark. It's not, bro. She wasn't even in the same, even though she won the championship, she wasn't in the same breath with Caitlin Clark in college. Okay? It's never been the same. It's never been close. Angel Resse is a glorified rebounder with horrible offensive fucking again, most of her rebounds, she's getting her own rebounds. Not most, but a substantial number of her rebounds is her getting her own misses. Okay? Her equivalent in the NBA She wouldn't make it. She wouldn't make it. Or she'd be fucking the 15th player on the bench.
Now, I heard a lot of people say that I or others have made Angel Resse the villain. Did you not just hear herself call herself the bad guy? She called herself the villain. I'm not making her the villain. She's making herself the villain.
All right. So that was RG3's comments about basketball. And he literally used things that happened to and that were said by Angel Resse, right, as evidence. So now let's jump to Ryan Clark and see what Ryan Clark got to say.
Know their character, know their perspective. But he does understand hate because I think he also understands the hate of self. When you look at the play, which is all we can speak to as professionals, all we can speak to as analysts, Angel Resse pushed one of her teammates. Caitlin Clark had a hard foul, which is part of basketball. I feel like it was assessed correctly. And Angel Resse's reaction is the sort of reaction you get in a situation when you feel like you took an intentionally hard foul. That's
now, again, you acknowledge that he didn't even acknowledge anything that RG3 said, accurately. But again, why did you skip over the point that RG3 made about where was this energy last year when she was flagrantly fouled on purpose? She was clotheslined out of the air in the attempt of a rebound. She had none of this smoke. She had none of this energy. Why? Well, that was some nobody ass bitch that no one knows or cares about, right? And if Angel Resse, whose whole career, let me fuck it, we here. Angel Resse's WNBA career depends on her beef with Caitlin Clark. Point blank, period. That's what makes her marketable. Her being the antithesis to the white girl, right, in the WNBA is her existence, not her being a basketball player. Because again, she's not she's not great at that, man. She's a rebounder. So of course, for the sake of her own brand and for the sake of her own endorsements, for the sake of her own relevance, of course she gonna fucking act a fucking fool if anything is done by Caitlin Clark to her.
That's competitiveness. That's rivalry. That's not hate. And so now, though, when RG3 jumps on to the hate train or to the angry train, and now follows along with what we saw from Keith Olbermann, what we saw from Dave Portnoy, as they poured on to Angel Resse to make her the villain and Caitlin Clark's.
And she is. She's the villain. Like you said, shout out to RG3 again. She said she will be the bad guy. She understands her role. Angel Resse understands if she's not the bad guy when it comes to motherfucking Caitlin Clark, no one cares. I promise you, the next thing we hear about Angel Resse won't be anything until she plays Caitlin Clark again. Or until she goes on her podcast and says some wild shit. Outside of fucking basketball versus Caitlin Clark, Angel Resse is irrelevant. That's the truth. That's the facts. No one gives a fuck about Angel Resse unless she's got something going on with Caitlin Clark when it comes to basketball. Go last year, even this, like I said, that story of her getting fucking clothesline out of the air didn't last more than 24 hours. No one cared. Bird versus Tree Rollins is wild. Bird versus Tree Rollins is wild but accurate. And listen, man, please, man, stop this bullshit, man. Yeah, this is not a fucking Larry Bird, Magic Johnson situation. That's disrespect to both of those players. As good as Caitlin Clark is, you can't just be throwing that shit around. Okay, compare her to Diana Taurasi or something. Compare her to other female players. Please do not do that. But it would be more accurate to say that Caitlin Clark would be the Larry Bird in this situation. It's not too far fetched. Again, she was Rookie of the Year. She set and broke records as a rookie. Clearly, like you said, the impact she had in bringing white people to care about and watch a game that was, you know, predominantly dominated by black people. That's why white people don't want to watch the shit, right? For the most part, women's basketball especially was very, very important, right? But if anything would have been for the what's the name, the best, and this is what I'm saying, the WNBA don't want to make no money. The WNBA is not really trying to market this correctly. A'ja Wilson versus Caitlin Clark is the money maker and makes sense. Okay, A'ja Wilson is still the best player in the WNBA. All right. If you can build that up and then do this whole thing of where it's like the Kobe LeBron situation, that's what it would be like, more like the Kobe LeBron, to where eventually you have this huge build up to where they meet each other in the finals, right? And you finally get the, you know, the torch passed, or, you know, the official crowning of the next best thing, that type shit. Angel Resse is never gonna be in those shoes, bro. Never. But again, shout out to Bucket 88. Greatly appreciate your brother for the team. I agree with you, Mr. Fantastic. The WNBA is trash, always will be trash. They're doing this for ratings estimation. Yeah, again, like I said, it's the whole WWE approach to it, man. You know, kayfabe type shit.
Heroic or hero story. Right. The one thing we know about RG3 is he's not having conversations at his home about what Black women have to endure in this country, about what young Black women and athletes like Angel Resse have had to deal with being on the opposite side of Caitlin Clark's rise and ascension into.
Bro, my understanding was she was one of the first college players to benefit from what do they call it? What's the what's the shit they paying them? Bro, why I can't never remember shit? The college players getting paid, right? And after she won the fucking she won the championship, the college championship, she came back for another year because of the fucking endorsements and shit. The NIL, appreciate you, yeah, the NIL shit, right? Angel Resse was one of the highest paid NIL players. Bruh, fuck is you talking about? What what adversity? What having to worry about Caitlin Clark? What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Niggas just make shit up. And this is why I say, bro, the deification of Black women have to stop, dog. I'm not saying that Black women ain't shit and Black women should never be praised and Black women just need to be talked shit about and talk. No, but the deification, though, this thing as to where they're always oppressed and everybody hates them and they just can't go through life without some type of conflict. And yeah, bro, it's got to stop the bullshit, bro. This is not helping. Y'all enabling fucking bullshit, and you're brainwashing more generations to come when we're trying to fucking right the ship and fix the bullshit, bro. If she being a bitch, call her a bitch. Okay? If she being difficult, call her difficult. Shout out to Fatty. I just had an argument with niggas yesterday about this fucking statue, and they was like, well, no, I don't see it. Like, bro, I'm a Black woman expert. If a Black woman got her fucking hands on her hips and that one knee bent, that is attitude, bro. Okay? It's fucking attitude. All right? Hurry up, nigga. Really, nigga? Why you been out so late, nigga? This fucking bullshit, bro, is just it's destroying not only the black community now, but still for generations to come when you do this stupid shit, dog. Hold on, bro. Listen. Yeah, we're not doing this with you niggas. Listen, bro. I appreciate the money, but the like button is free. Hit it for me. God damn it.
Take off, record. Real more shit, man. That's why more bodies, man. Done more bodies right now, man. That real more shit, man. G up in the building, man.
Hey, had they caught all them niggas? I thought they caught all but one like a couple days ago or some shit, right? Listen, man, I don't even know, dog. Niggas is wilding. Niggas be wilding, bro. Fuck, what's the name though? Fuck prison reform. I can tell you that right now. Hit the like button, people.
Stardom. No, when you look at it, I think Angel Wilson is the face of the league. Angel Wilson is the best player in the league. Caitlin Clark is the most important player in the
right. No, bro. Well, no. No. Caitlin Clark is the face of the league, the most important of the league, the biggest money maker of the league. Caitlin Clark is the WNBA. Okay. And if I was her people, especially being that she has whatever, so on and so forth, to be an asshole, I would literally sit out a season just to motherfucking prove it. Y'all gonna respect me, goddammit. Okay? I will retire for a fucking year. Cause she good. She said she got other endorsements and shit and so on and so forth. Just to fucking prove a point. So y'all to basically beg me to fucking come back. Because this shit is ridiculous, dog. Shout out to SKC. Malika Andrews can trash black men all day long in sports commentary. Ryan Clark jumps out of a window to defend black women as a sports commentary. Black culture is backwards. It is, man. I'm telling you, it's the deification of the woman, bro. That's the problem. Again, of course, you're supposed to love and protect the women, right? Provide, protect, love, all that bullshit, right? But when you do it at all costs and then random women you don't fuck, man, stop it, bro.
WNBA. And a ton of her fandom has come along with some racial bias or some racial pieces to why people love her so much. And so now if you're RG3, when is the last time within your household you've had a conversation about what she's dealing with? You haven't been able to do that because in both of your marriages, you've been married to white women.
Now, this is what's going to see again, brother. Why are you talking about this man's family, his marriage, his personal situation? This was business. Everything he said had to do with on the court play. Why are you talking about his personal life and his love life and his family and shit? Why? Once you do this shit, bro, now it's personal. Every man knows this. Every man knows this shit.
You haven't had opportunities to have those conversations to educate you on what they're feeling, what black women deal with, what they're seeing when they think of a young Angel Resse. And the whole time that he's mimicking Angel Resse and bobbing his head and moving his neck while he's doing this whole piece, his wife is in the back amening and clapping.
Did she clap? I didn't see her clap, and I just saw her drinking coffee. Did we miss that? Was his wife reacting? I didn't pay. I saw her in the background, but I didn't see her doing any of those things. Was she doing those things? Did y'all see that? I didn't see his wife. I didn't. Yeah, it definitely did, but I didn't see his wife clapping or any of these things. I saw her drinking a cup of coffee or tea. Yeah, I don't see her. I don't remember seeing her react at all. So now you're just blatantly lying. But again, if you are a black man putting your cape on and putting your drawers on outside of your pants and you speaking against a white woman, yes, tell them, baby. Ooh, yeah, you told him. Ooh, yes, Ryan Clark.
And so to me, it's just another situation that now this young lady has to deal with. When I worked with RG3, he would make all of these sort of corny jokes about milk and how much he loved it and how important it was. And he always points out on social media the color of his wife's skin, as if the color of her skin is what makes her special, as if the color of her skin is what makes her a good wife.
No, it's just a trait that he points out to that he wants to point out. If your wife got a fat ass, nigga, and you want to talk about how fat that ass is, that's your right. If your wife chocolate and you never say so, Ryan Clark, when do you go comment on the men that talk about how beautiful chocolate they woman is, right? When are you gonna say something about that, Ryan Clark? Are you out here chastising? Remember, what was the bullshit again, y'all? What was the TikTok trend? The black wife effect. Where were your comments on the black wife effect, Ryan Clark? Why were you not telling all these white men to not bring up the fact it shouldn't matter that your wife being black doesn't make her special? This is why I'm sick. I am disgusted by you niggas. I'm disgusted, bro. This shit is a cancer. And it gotta stop. It's gotta stop. All this motherfucking penis policing and dick detecting, and y'all so worried about what a nigga doing with it. But again, y'all not saying nothing to the motherfucking brotherfuckers. You're not saying nothing to the bull daggers. You're not saying nothing to the swirlers, the divestors. The only person who can't fucking choose the person they want to love, the person they want to marry, the person they want to be in a motherfucking family with, who? Straight black man. If you can't be you corny, you lame. That's why you had to go over there and deal with them white women. That's why you had to go overseas and get you a wife, because you was a lame nigga. You can't handle a strong black woman. Nigga, I don't want to. All I deal with is black women, but the strong black ones, that's it. You come to me with that motherfucking strong black woman shit, yeah, baby. Hey, go ahead and bend over and open wide. That's about it. That's all you can do for me. Fuck out of here. Bitch, I'm not finna be motherfucking going back and forth with you like we in the motherfucking WWF, wrestling and arguing and all this shit all the goddamn time. Hatfields and McCoys under my goddamn roof. You crazy? I got time for this shit, bitch. If that man wants to motherfucking point out his wife's whiteness, because that's what he's attracted to about her, that's his motherfucking right. Get off his dick. You don't say nothing to nobody that got the white boys to be doing all this fucking bullshit that's forced and fake as fuck. We didn't even get into that part of it, but yeah, bro, anybody got time for that shit, MMATL? Cree, I apologize, love, but it's your birthday, so yeah, I ain't talking about you now. If it don't apply, let it fly, baby. I ain't talking about you.
I've met the lady. I've had a conversation with her. Right. I think she's more than that. But it also leads to what black women deal with a lot from black men who have chose to date or marry outside of their race. They always feel like they have to go the extra mile to prop up the woman that they're married or the woman that they're with over black women.
That's a lie. No, he never. See, again, And this is what I hate about this is why people like Ryan Clark are so fucking dangerous, because again, Ryan Clark is accomplished football player, right? He got a podcast now. He has a whole community of young boys that are going to listen to him, right? Right? He's a former NFL player with a podcast, right? So these young boys are going to listen to him give this take of where, hey, yeah, man, he's out here putting his wife over black women. If you don't like dealing with black women, just shut the fuck up about it and be quiet, which niggas is doing anyway. Niggas is never out here like, ooh, I got my white bitch, I got my Asian bitch, I got my Hispanic bitch, I got my whatever, fuck these black bitches. Now, are there some niggas that do it? Yes. That's the 1%, bro. That's the 1% of niggas is out here like, you black bitches ain't shit, motherfucking give me the white bitch, right? Like the nigga that got killed, right? They said some wild shit, talking about he'd rather fuck a dog or some crazy shit. Brother, I understood. That's why I couldn't really go all the way. But hey, you say some wild shit like that, bro. Hey, damn, that food be good. Y'all see the meme where they was like, damn, this repast food just tastes so much better. After the nigga that got packed up. Shout out to West Ham for the 5 grand. Appreciate you, brother. You can look at Ryan's eyes, pause, and see he making shit up while he talking. Loved Ryan as a football player, but now he's pandering so hard it's sad. Yeah, it was something else. I was trying to figure out what it was he said the last time, and I was like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Again, he's one of those guys, man. When niggas put on the motherfucking pro-black cape, bro, they put the pro-black hat on. I can't take you serious, dog. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I still gonna respect him as a man and, what he accomplished. But as far as Ryan Clark's opinion goes, bro, please shut the fuck up. Please, bro. This ain't you. And then again, we gonna get to we gonna have the unveiling, right? We gonna have the fucking secret reveal
by denigrating black women. I feel like we should have an opportunity to move past that and understand that Angel Resse can be great in her own right.
No, great is what? A rebounder. That's it. That is our only greatness. Angel Resse also liked the thing, something concerning like that was talking shit about black men. One of you brothers remember what it was, put it in the chat. But Angel Resse also liked the comment of somebody that was shitting on black men. I forget what it was. And that's why I was like, man, all you niggas that's giving her support and whatever, bro, y'all niggas y'all frauds, bro. Y'all agents. Any black woman that motherfucking says the shit that's purposely, these niggas ain't shit and indiscriminately, just across the board, right? Again, well, you do the same thing. No, I don't. I don't do the same thing. I'm talking about the motherfucking black women that the behavior. That's why I'm always descriptive. I never said all these black bitches ain't shit. I've never said that. Never once. I say the ain't shit bitches ain't shit. And if you're an ain't shit bitch and you happen to be black, that's your fault, not mine.
Caitlin Clark is as well. Caitlin Clark is a likable and lovable superstar. She pays homage to the stars of the past. She pays homage to the black women that have come before her. And now she is carrying the mantle.
Is it homage or is it homage? Have I been mispronouncing homage all this time? Yeah, exactly. Shout out to the brother over there on Rumble. Greatly appreciate you, brother. It's both? Okay, it can be either or. Okay. Appreciate you, Kid Cloud. I thought I was a old country ass nigga for a minute there.
Forward. So there's no need to pin those two against each other and paint them based on stereotypical tropes. And I think this is what I like RG3 to know.
Well, is it stereotypical? Bayou Barbie? That's what she calls herself, right? Getting as close to naked as she can, the majority of the places she goes somewhere. The attitude, city girls energy. Is it a caricature? Is it, you know what I mean? Is it a stereotype, or is that what how she's acting, how she's presenting herself? Again, we gotta be fucking real.
that no matter how much he continues to echo the microaggressions of racist, he'll be no less black than me.
Hold up.
Shout out to my man Curtis Hancock for the 5. Greatly appreciate you, brother. What's crazy is that a lot of upper class lesbians got white wives. Just all the LGBT people got white spouses. Hell, Kamala Harris, who's not black, but bitches wanted to claim was black, has a white husband. Again, it's never any of this smoke for anyone other than the straight black man. Shout out to there. I said it for the 5. Appreciate you, brother. Black men who marry other black men or even white men are not rejected in black woke society, yet dating out is grounds for banishment of the black community. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, bro. I was saying that. That's what I was saying before. I don't know if you were here when I said it, but yeah, the brotherfuckers, the bulldaggers, whatever, they can deal with whoever they want to, right? Those relationships in itself are anti-family. All right. Okay. Outside of the anti-family part of it, again, if the person is interracial, they don't care. If it's a person of another race, it's celebrated and embraced. Shout out to man Dub Will 478 in the building. What's funny is that all the pandering credit will be gone as soon as he says something that the sisterhood doesn't like. They'll be at his throat quick. Yeah, well, he had to make the sacrifice, and we see why he had to make the sacrifice here shortly, right? Let's see. Yeah. All right. So now we got RG3's reply, right? RG3 is going to reply to brother Ryan Clark.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy RG3, and I just wanted to get on here and talk to you guys because there's been a lot of buzz, a lot of conversations about my sports take that Angel Resse hates Caitlin Clark, which was purely based in basketball. But I think all of you know there's a line in life that you just simply don't cross. Wives and children are always off limits, and Ryan Clark has sprinted past that line. Ryan Clark didn't like my sports take that Angel Resse hates Caitlin Clark. And that's fine. It's okay. It's part of the game. Sports media, I'm going to have an opinion. This person might not agree with it. That person might not agree with it. But what you don't do is turn around and personally attack me and my family just because you don't agree with a sports opinion that is purely based off the sport. I didn't make it personal.
He didn't. He didn't mention one personal thing about Angel Resse whatsoever. He was strictly talking about basketball plays and things that happen within basketball, quoting them verbatim, and even showing clips of the information that he was referencing. How the fuck do we get to motherfucking RG3 and his choice of his wife? And you making assumptions about his understanding of the black woman and all this different thing. Like, again, my understanding is his mama black, ain't it? His mama black. So what makes you feel that this man doesn't have a connection or understanding or whatever? You don't know what the hell this man knows because he simply chooses to marry a white woman or white women.
But what that really shows is just how low of a person Ryan Clark is.
And this isn't the first time for Ryan Clark. This isn't the first time. I forget what the last thing was or the issue was, but Ryan Clark did this same motherfucking jumping out the window shit before. I think it was over some political shit, if I remember right. But whatever it was, I covered it, right? Ryan Clark's done this shit before, bro. Now, I'm not going to say he's a horrible piece of shit human being. I'm not going to go that far. But being that he did go too far and they have history, I mean, hey.
But Ryan, you crossed the line, man. You made it personal and some. I really believe there should be no space in sports media for personal attacks. I've said it before. but certainly personal attacks against wife and children have always been off limits. Ryan, you attacked me and my family in a public forum on a level that shows just how low of a human being you are. You can disagree with me all you want. Challenge my takes, but keep my family and my wife out of it. That's a boundary that should always be respected, man. Always. Ryan Clark personally attacking me and my family because he disagreed with my sports opinion is a bad look for ESPN. It's cowardly, it's spineless, and it's weak. Ryan Clark personally attacking me and my family. Personally because he disagreed with my sports opinion is a bad look for him as a man. I hope you get the help you need, brother.
And again, do I believe Ryan Clark should lose his job? No, I don't believe Ryan Clark should lose his job over that. He didn't say anything super duper egregious. It was fucked up. He crossed the line, but it wasn't nothing super duper crazy, right? So I'm not with the people that's calling for his job. I don't believe in that, right? Even though, like I said, I'm pretty sure he said either way. But again, for RG3 to approach it the way he approached it, again, RG3 is who he is. Every black man does not have the same experience, bro. Okay? You got your Carltons, you got your Wills, right? You got your motherfucking, even within the streets and shit, you got your Canes, you got your O-Dog, right? All right, you got your Ricky, you got your Doughboy. Ricky and Doughboy, I think, you know what? It's crazy when we look back at this, right? The dichotomy, and just shows you just how, even within the same household, you can have a kid that chooses the right path and one that chooses the wrong, right? You feel me? This is why I'm like, a lot of the things that people talk about, and I can't buy the bullshit about the white man, the white man, the white man, the white man, the white man. At the end of the day, you have some level of choice, right? Most of us that grew up in the hood, bro, you walk past, you know, some shady shit, some illegal shit. You could have easily got involved in this shit. It's not hard. It's not hard to motherfucking do the wrong thing. It's never hard to do the wrong thing. But in your mind, you're like, nah, this shit not gonna go nowhere. It's not worth it. It didn't make you pussy. It didn't make you scared. It made you motherfucking intelligent enough to understand risk and reward at a very early age before you were ever even, you know, taught the concept. That's all it is. I don't have time to be, you know what I'm saying, again, worried about dropping the soap, getting stabbed. You know what I'm saying? Stupid ass being forced to join a gang or car or whatever the hell you call this shit. I ain't got time for that shit, bro. Nigga, I want to be free. I want to do what the fuck I want when I want to motherfucking do it. Okay? But for you dumbass niggas, the majority of y'all that fuck around and get caught, and now you got to go sit down and think about your life for years on years on years. And if you've been there for more than 5 years, y'all, what happened? What happened if they've been there for more than 5 years, y'all? Put it in the chat. Chat participation, chat participation, chat participation. Since when grown men can have a disagreement, keep it cordial and respectful, especially in their tax bracket. Well, no, it's crazy. See, there you go. Yep, fucking them boys. If a man has been in the penal system for more than 5 years, what we came to find out was they were extremely high cases of them being HIV positive. And being that a lot of them would have these hearings in the interest of public safety, I would have to make the women aware that these men had contracted HIV. I told y'all, man, a lot of the sexual like degeneracy and the debauchery outside of Diddy, of course, outside of Diddy, A lot of this shit came from fucking prison culture. This is why you niggas out here throwing your legs up in the air. This is why all you niggas out here like your motherfucking, your backside getting played with. That's fucking prison shit, man. And somehow, some way, this shit's done infiltrated into a substantial part of fucking just, I still don't understand how y'all hoes out here eat man ass. A man's ass is never clean. It's just not. Niggas get out the shower and just fart. I'm niggas. Okay? Done clean my whole ass. And fuck it, let it rip. The bitches out here proudly talking about how much man ass they eat, man. It's crazy. So, what we come to find, man, and this is why I don't believe the bullshit with Dr. Umar at all, man. You mean to tell me Dr. Umar ain't got not one snow bunny on this thing? He talked too much about it, right? Listen, man, and this shit right here, I hate you niggas. Shout out to this brother. Y'all got it. The WNBA isn't for me. Comparing fucking Angel Resse to the fucking Little Rock, Little Rock 9, man. What we got going on here? Seriously? Y'all are fucking gassing this shit, man. Y'all carrying it. The white girls beat the black girls by 35, and the WNBA called it racism in a basketball game, to be more specific. In basketball. And then we got this bullshit. Stupid shit like this. From what looks to be an aspiring or possibly practicing lesbian.
Hey, this message is for my fellas. Look, read the room, please. Please read the room. When it comes to this situation with the WNBA, like, if you got something to say about her, I get it. But right now ain't the time to talk about how much you love her and how much she has gained. This ain't the time, because there is a larger issue at hand. Your sister is being attacked. Your daughter is being attacked. Your cousin is being attacked.
No, some strange bitch that's making hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars to play basketball is being criticized for her behavior on the court. Say it with me now. A adult black woman that is highly paid to play a game poorly is being criticized for her play on the court and her reaction on the court. Not my sister, not my aunt, not my niece, not my mama, not my daughter. Again, this is a grown, wealthy stranger that does not, you know what I'm saying, earn her paycheck.
Like this ain't the time not to read the room. Read the room. There's a larger issue at play. That girl Angel Resse has been attacked for almost 3 years now. And the optics of you, LeBron James, or you, RG3, saying, LeBron saying, she great game, da. This ain't the time for that.
Damn. So one of the greatest all-time basketball players can't have a basketball opinion. The nerve of you bull-dagging. The nerve of you bitches. What? A man that plays basketball for a living, has played basketball for a living over 20 years, 20 plus years, bro. Well, this LeBron's 22nd year, 22 years, or 21 years, because 03, 04, this is 24, 25. So 21 years, 21st season, okay, doesn't have the right to say good game.
Watch the game and keep it moving. RG3, this ain't the time for you talking about Angel hating her. This ain't the time. Even though.
Shut up, nigga. Don't tell the truth, nigga. Support black women, nigga. Protect black women, nigga. I don't care if she wrong, nigga. You hush up now and you just fall in line, nigga.
I don't believe it to be true. And even if it is, this ain't the time for that.
Even if it is. There it goes. They don't care. They don't care about the facts. They don't care about the truth. Hey, black men, blindly support black women no matter what. If they dead ass wrong and they're a detriment to their own community, support black women.
Y'all need to be careful about what y'all post, what y'all say, because there's a larger issue at hand. You need to read the room. If you putting out stuff about her and you not sticking up for your sister, your niece, your cousin, your daughter, you missing the mark.
So again, this is one of the reasons why we don't even want women in sports, because number one, the people that don't even support it, the people that don't even rock with it the most, the only reason why you see the WNBA as popular as it is, aside from the fact that Caitlin Clark is polarizing, and they disrespected Caitlin Clark by saying her, won't even address her name, won't even say who she is, none of that stuff. One of the reasons why this sport is as popular as it is because you have people like LeBron James that have, for an extended period of time, actually championed the sport and celebrated women as a whole. And for the first time, I actually agree with LeBron James in that he's celebrating it and he's making it about basketball instead of making it about gender and making it about race. Gender and race, but leave it up to black women every single time. We don't talk about that when it comes to athletes, when it comes to the men's sports. It's just a game. Angel Resse herself said it was a good basketball play. Leave it on the floor. But leave it up to y'all to make it about race, and that's the only thing that black women have to talk about.
And shout out to Chronicles, man. I don't know where the hell he at, but shout out to Chronicles. Chronicles was the person who coined this phrase. Black women are racialists and feminists. And they're feminists before they're racialists, but they're definitely going to bring it into it. And they have to combine the two, because now the black woman is the eternal victim, yet champion at the same time. Somehow, some way. Black women are the only group of people that has always been oppressed, but always been strong enough to overcome. They always being attacked, but they always find a way to fucking strike back. Bruh. I told y'all, I keep telling y'all, especially here going on, a lot of shit is happening. Okay? A lot of stuff is happening. Jobs being lost. Government subsidies being cut. They cutting food stamps. They cutting Medicaid. What that mean? You finna get your ass out here and work. Sitting around having these fucking babies, not gonna cut it. Not gonna work no more. Look, bro, another crazy thing I saw. Put a one in the chat if you ever heard of Klarna. You got Klarna and you got like Afterpay. But put a one in the chat if you ever heard of Klarna. Listen, Kid Cloud, everybody getting tired, bro. Everybody getting tired. Shout out to my man West Ham again for the 2. Appreciate you. Sounds like what they said during Megan and Tori. Bro, they doing it right now. Sizzle is out here trying to cap for fucking what's they talking about? She's being bullied. No, bitch. If people don't believe the verdict, that they don't believe the verdict, and I have the right to motherfucking express and say I don't believe the verdict. The fucking evidence did not match up with the fucking facts of the matter, what happened, and then first and foremost, why did we never get a DNA to other fucking people that were in the car and that were involved? You just got unknown DNA. Why the fuck we don't know whose DNA it is? It sounds like a fucking railroading to me. One time she can wear what she wants off the court. Rodman did it. Yeah, she can, and Rodman was motherfucking criticized for it too. Make sure you rewrite your comment and put and Rodman was criticized. Was he not, Winchime? Rodman was criticized for even his hair. Not to mention when he wore these crazy ass clothes and shit. Rodman was criticized. And that's the problem. But I have a question though. Isn't the same mindset when your woman does something or a family member does something out of pocket, defend, but in private, slam them? Well, no, I'm not. I'm not going to defend any woman that's doing or any of my family members publicly for something that they did something that's clearly wrong. Now, if it's a fight or it's a physical altercation, I have to. But defending shit that's wrong, no, I'm not going to do that. You're going to have to motherfucking, endure the criticism that you're due because you fucked up. If it's your actions that you did and you were clearly wrong, no, I'm not going to support you in being wrong. That's enabling. People don't understand. Again, all punishment is not physical, right? All pain is not physical. But again, stress and pain is the only thing that creates change in human beings. It says again, it's something. Again, a lot of niggas don't know this because they've never been taught it. They've never been trained to understand this. You have physical stressors, you have mental and emotional stressors, right? In order to build up endurance, you have to go through some shit, right? Resiliency, right? A lot of people aren't resilient because, hey, they just simply haven't been through a lot of things in their life. They've been sheltered. You know what I'm saying? They've had things take care of them. They've never had to really do anything on their own. That's a part of the human experience is building up your resilience physically, mentally, emotionally, right? By going through things and overcoming them. If you just walk in the gym every day and you just walk in and walk out, you're never going to get stronger. You're never going to get bigger. But you start picking up some heavy ass motherfucking weights, it's going to hurt. It's going to make you tired. But I promise you're going to have some motherfucking change. And that's the part that people don't understand about the whole stress. Stress is a necessary aspect of life. Necessary. Shout out to Future President for the 5. Appreciate you, brother. Would you rather have courtside WNBA seats or nosebleeds NBA seats? Nosebleeds NBA seats, bro. I can literally I play basketball pretty much every Saturday. I can find I have better runs with a bad back at 40 than I see in motherfucking a WNBA game, bro. Okay. I make better plays and get more highlights than a WNBA game, dog, at 40 years old with a bad back. Okay. And I just found out I got that arthritis in my knee. Okay. So yeah, brother, I would most definitely rather have the nosebleed NBA seats. Exactly. But oh, my bad. So I asked a question. So the Klarna shit, right? Guess what niggas ain't doing on Klarna? Niggas ain't paying Klarna. Klarna is down. They said, hold up. Damn, did I say that? Bro, Klarna is down like crazy money, bro. Motherfuckers done put the stop payment on the Klarna. You know what? Hold on, let me see. Here we go. Look at this shit. Bro, the worst thing that ever happened was the lockdowns, bro. The lockdowns killed people's willingness to work. Everybody became side hustlers and shit, right? Klarna's losses have doubled in quarter one after $136 million in customer debts went unpaid. Klarna's losses have doubled. So you niggas done fucked up the even. So now when we know the damn they talking about credit possibly tightening up and shit, right? The thing that you would have been able to use to get credit, y'all done destroyed one of them. And I promise you now, Afterpay is gonna follow suit. And what's the other one? You got Klarna, Afterpay, and there's one more. What is the other one, y'all? TLP, they don't care. Niggas don't give a damn about no credit. Niggas out here pulling plays and Affirm. Appreciate you though. Well, there we go. Affirm and Sezzle. There we go. Affirm, Sezzle. All those little, hey, pay over 4 months or whatever, and la la la. And listen, bro. Again, I'm telling you, this shit is gonna get ugly. Shout out to Bubba Sparks. All right, this shit finna get ugly, bro. Shout out to Pooh Shiesty. Shit finna get ugly. It's gonna be real rough out here. I promise you, the majority of people using this shit, who? Women. Cause what they offer these shits at? All them little the places you see this shit the most is gonna be what? Clothing sites and accessories and shit. Y'all ain't got your Temu Hall and your what's the other shit? Temu and what's the damn girls' clothes? Sheen, there we go. Sheen, and what's the other one? What's the other one? TP. What's the first one? What's the original cheap Chinese woman clothes? Fashion Over. There we go. Y'all ain't got your whole carts and shit, and y'all ain't paying them folks their money. All right. And y'all finna have to start paying these motherfucking student loans back. All right. And it didn't cut your food stamps. All right. And it didn't cut your Section 8 time. All right. Didn't cut your Medicaid. All right. Just saying. Dog, it's gonna be rough out here, bro. Listen, hey, that too, plane tickets and all that shit, man. So what do we come to find out about Ryan Clark, man? What do you guys, well, I know a lot of y'all know, so, but look at old Ryan Clark, man. Look at old Ryan, man. But what do we have here? Cute little mixed lady with the freckles and everything. Ryan, what's this, Ryan? Sounds like to me, Ryan, that you understand RG3's experience before he did. RG3 ain't got no grown kids. It's a grown woman now, bro. Did you happen to dabble in the milk, brother, earlier in your career? She is. She's a very attractive young lady. She is. She's a very, very attractive young lady. Respectfully. Yes, that is his daughter. Bucket it never fails. The loudest are the guiltiest a lot of the times. Niggas that just go so headstrong and long, pause into a thing. You had all this shit to say about RG3, not understanding the black experience and elevating his white wife over black women and all this other shit. Brother, what was you doing when you got this white woman pregnant, brother? No. Her mom is white. White. You see how dark that man is. You're not gonna get no kid, this no child, this light with a other woman with melanin in her. Stop playing, TLP. Here you go. Here your sisterhood kicking in. Put his link in here for y'all, man. She's not albino, brother. She's white. He said he's confirmed that she's biracial. Yeah, here we go. Here, I got you right here. So for y'all that don't know, right? Ryan Clark fighting for his life after people done motherfucking pulled up the fucking what's her name now. I didn't know this was news, but since other people want to talk about her, this is my firstborn, Jaden. My God, she's beautiful, all of her. I fell in love with her the first time I ever saw her, and I've loved her ever since, every day. We grew up together, we cried together, laughed, fought. She's all mine, and I've always been so proud to be her father. Maybe the news in light of this week is that she's biracial, so she's a perfect part of my God-given experience, and the sum of those experiences make me who I am. So, brother, why y'all don't have this same attitude towards RG3? Why don't y'all have this? Y'all literally ran this man's wife and daughters, his daughters, in the ground because he had comments about Kamala Harris or some shit or so on and so forth from political views. And y'all said his daughters, RG3's daughters, weren't black because they got a white mama. So does this apply to fucking Ryan Clark? Obviously it's news, brother, and it comes to show you as to how we stay out of men's family business for the most part. You don't go searching for that shit. I had no idea Ryan Clark had a grown daughter, or I don't follow him like that. I'm aware of him, but I don't follow him, and I didn't know that you had a mixed biracial child, brother. Most of us didn't. That's why you're saying it's news, and that's why everybody's because you made all of these declarations and you said all of these things concerning this man being involved with a white woman when clearly you've done the same. It's the hypocrisy, brother. So that's why everybody's fucking talking about it. Yeah, go ahead, Emperor. What's going on, man?
What's good? Fantastic, man.
I can't complain, brother. What's up with you? Your sound went out if you're trying to say something. There you go. You back. Well, no, you kind of bad. You're in a bad area. Always. Nick, I told this MMATL. This is what I told you too. A lot of you niggas is missing y'all calling. Y'all niggas done solved 2 murders over the internet. Niggas specifically. You niggas done solved y'all solved the Young Dolph murder. Y'all solved the Mo 3 murder. For you niggas that hate to be the police, y'all do a better job than the police. For niggas that claim they hate the police, y'all do a better fucking job of detecting and noticing and motherfucking video forensics than the police they damn self. For all you niggas that hate the police. Yo, what up?
Yeah. My bad, man. I got a phone call.
No problem.
Yeah, but yeah, you spot on, man. Look, the nigga want to be selective. That's most niggas. Most niggas want to be selective in who they hate. Like they fucking like black women are some of the most racist motherfuckers on this planet. Next to the small hats. Now, basically, they bullied this girl all year last year. We might as well call Caitlin Clark little white female Jesus, because she's bearing the cross for the league. They done stuck the girl in the eye. They done pushed her down, clotheslined her, call her every name in the book but a child of God. And the one time this girl said enough, because at some point, people get tired of getting bullied. The bully always, look, the bully is never fair. The bully is going to get his day, his or her day. Everybody always stands up to the bully at a certain point. So the minute this girl stand up to the bully, niggas want to get mad. Niggas want to talk about being protected. That girl, Angel Resse, is taller than this white girl. How the fuck is she not protected? Protected from what? As much as tall motherfuckers and fantastic. Yeah, I got to wave the flag for the little fella federation, for the little niggas. I know you my dog, you tall and all that, but look, as much as big motherfuckers sit there try to stand over niggas and try to hey, I'll whoop your ass, this little white girl showed her she not finna take that shit this year.
Not at all.
She been in the gym. She been in the gym working on her shit. I'm sure she got somebody in her corner. Hey, you got to be tougher now. It's getting harder. You got to come on with it now. You got to come with it. These bitches ain't finna let you have it. So now she's got to prove. This shows that the white woman is more hungry than the black bitch. This shows.
Oh shit, he just popped out. Oh, you back. I ain't trying to let you be great, man. Go ahead.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Think about LeBron. Think about Kobe. Think about MJ, man. They all had that grit. They all had that attitude, that determination to just be a fucking dog. To be an asshole. But I know you were saying, and you were right. It's on par with Kobe and LeBron, but I kind of feel that they had this chance to be Magic and Bird, the female edition. They had the chance, but see, the black female is so slow. She's so slow. She missing her opportunity to make this money. Merchandise. That's where the money is made. That's where the game is played. Not shaking your ass in lingerie and damn coochie cutter shorts. Y'all could have all type of bobbleheads, commercials, McDonald's commercials and shit. Angel Resse and Caitlin Clark, McDonald's commercials. Missing it all because of your fucking dumbass, hoe ass ego. So look, whatever they get, man, whatever. I hope Caitlin Clark wins the championship this year. I hope the Fever, get they head out their ass and get some talent around this girl. So because they got a dog. They got somebody who really wants to win a fucking championship. So I hope she win it, man. Angel Resse, I can see it now. She got another 2 years of this. She got another 2 years of missing this layup shit, this rebound layup shit. Like, folks getting tired of that shit. She not getting selected to no the national team, USA basketball. They not selecting her. If she do, she not started.
Well, no, they probably will. You got another what? You got another 4 years. Olympics just happened, right? But I'm with you. I don't think she'll after this year. This is her last year of the relevance and whatever is going. Especially like you said, if the Fever win in the playoffs this year, and actually become contenders. Yeah, that shit's gonna die off real quick. This is why she's holding on and clinging onto it.
And bro, I'm gonna tell you like this here right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. When she don't get selected to Team USA, it's gonna be but the black woman, she not being seen, she not being heard, she doing this, she great, she all that you know how black women want to throw irrelevant shit in on it. Oh, she's a model, she's a social influencer. Like, that don't mean shit when it comes to playing for Team USA, playing for the Olympics, playing for championships.
Yeah,
but
all that, all that shit. None of that shit matters, man.
Yeah, man. So I hope Caitlin wins, man.
All that shit, didn't they? What was that the girl Seattle or some shit? I think or whatever. Who won last year? I don't even know who won.
Aja Wilson them won last year.
They got beat. No, they got beat.
It was Liberty. The Liberty won last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. Seattle did. She ain't got this energy for Aja Wilson. Angel Resse ain't got this energy for Audrey Wilson and none of them other damn bulldog ass black bitches. Ain't none of them got that smoke for each other like that. It's only the white girl. They mad. It's basically white bitch. You better not do shit. You better not touch me, white bitch, or else I'ma beat your ass out here.
That's pretty much it.
You ain't shit. I can't stand you, white bitch. That's basically what all them bitches in the WNBA want to say. They saying it in so many ways.
And they don't realize.
Yeah, man, I'm a hop down, man. I just want to say that, man, and get that off. You know. All right, bro.
What's up, Fantastic?
You got it, man.
Yeah, I was coming up a little bit. The pinata called Angel Resse is been beat on for the last 2 years because she overvalued her overall status. When somebody thinks they're bigger than they really are. She transferred from Maryland to LSU after she wasn't, I guess, getting the numbers or the success there. Jumped on the bandwagon with LSU. They won a national championship, yeah, but her game, how she still plays it now, fit college. It doesn't fit WNBA because you got to actually be skilled. You got to be able to have a certain ability, shooting, rebounding. She, missing her own shot. I guess rebounding wise is her skill set. But anyway, she's realized if she's had a PR team, shut her mouth. Like at that press conference when she shut the dude down, they was trying to ask her about, her influence on the league or whatever. How does she feel? And she said, next question. She realized that she's not dumb, that she might be out of the league within a year or two. Because WNBA is so competitive because they only have about 14 teams. She might get cut. She doesn't have a skill set,
No, she's not gonna get cut. She's not gonna get cut. Like I said, it's not that. She'll be serviceable. Like I said, she's still, she's a solid rebounder. I think she didn't. I don't know if she led the league in rebounds.
Yeah.
But, she's definitely, like I said, that'll be a piece of something that somebody can move around. If you were able to, they were able to trade her or something to a team like, you know what I'm saying, with Angel Wilson, where she don't have to worry about rebounding as much, and you could get her with a like Angel Wilson or another team that's close to on the brink, she would be valuable. It's just the fact that
you're right.
That don't, so, but
she worked out with Lisa Leslie this summer supposedly.
No, that was all, and she did. That was literally promo. KP for 90% of the summer, 90% of the off season. She I'm not gonna say she faked the injury, but she had a wrist injury or something.
Yep.
So she rehabbed from the from the injury, right? And she started the podcast. Then she started, of course, doing all this social media shit. She focused more so on the fucking podcast. Remember, she threw Shaq under the bus.
Yeah, you say he tried to come on to her. We tried to meet to him a little bit.
It seemed like Shaq was a fucking creep or some shit, right?
Yep.
All that shit. And then she literally spent like the last week before, as close as she could possibly get to motherfucking, I guess, training camp for the WNBA, working out with Lisa Leslie, and she wasn't listening. Horrible. Traveling, fumbling the ball, all that shit. Just terrible.
And then she played in that league, right? Over the season.
Yeah, exactly. And then she played in, even though mind you, she was injured, right? She played in the alternative
3-on-3,
yeah, whatever the fuck that shit was. So that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, nah, all that shit is bullshit. But like I said, this is her last year of them being able to fucking link those two together, I think. And what's gonna happen is, I know for sure, after this, because Caitlin Clark will definitely be established herself, after the sophomore season, to be like, hey, look, her people, her agent, her everything is gonna come for, and even Nike is gonna be like, hey, look, especially being that Angel Resse ain't a Nike athlete. If Angel Resse was a Nike athlete, maybe, you know what I'm saying? But we need y'all to get off this fucking Angel Resse shit, okay? It's not making y'all no money, all right? No one cares about that shit. We have an opportunity now to start the whole, the the Ija and Caitlin arc. We're gonna do that. We're the one that's fucking, the sponsor for the NBA, WNBA, Nike.
Yep.
That's the move we're gonna fucking start moving in. If y'all can't fucking figure this shit out, Adam Silver, you need to fucking fire whoever the fucking commissioner is for the WNBA,
Mm-hmm.
and get somebody that's gonna fucking make us some money. Fuck out of here with this bullshit.
That's facts because I know Juju, she had a knee injury in college. So
yeah, man. Damn, shout out to Juju, man.
Yeah, I hope she makes a speedy recovery.
Speedy recovery. Yeah. She's still getting drafted.
Yes, next year. And being that, because like you said, Asia, right? Asia plays a big man role position.
Yeah.
So
center.
ideally for Caitlin, you would want somebody who's also a wing player. No smaller or no bigger than a 3, but preferably a 2 to a 1. And I know what is Juju about at least I know she's a 2, but she a 3 as well.
No, Juju's a point or 2.
Yeah.
Sure
so she'll have the ball in her hands on a regular basis, and she, so that'd be the ideal if she could come in the league, her rookie year, get herself established, and then be formidable in her first year or two to say, okay, especially if they put her out on the West Coast, or if you don't want to put her in the East, and have it where it's a rivalry, and she go play for either one of the teams, like say, I don't know, Atlanta, New York, possibly. I don't know, but I'm saying a rivalry with.
I don't know how their draft goes, but whoever has the I don't know about this year because she is hurt, but I'm pretty sure like she's still getting drafted in this draft. She's gonna get drafted in this draft.
Yeah.
So even still with that, she's still gonna be a lottery pick.
Yeah.
It's only 14 teams, so all of them really lottery picks.
Yeah,
right?
she'll be number 1, no lower than number 2, depending on who's her competition.
Yeah.
And after seeing what happened with the NBA draft,
the other girl, Paige Buckers.
Yeah, she's playing Dallas for the Wings.
Oh, she already in the league?
Yeah, she got drafted by Dallas Wings.
Yeah.
And she just experienced her first back-to-back losses because I think they're like minimum like 0-2 or 0-3. So I hopefully she might step up like Caitlin did last year. Remember, Caitlin first started last year. Her first 10 games, she wasn't on fire because she was getting acclimated. Everybody's throwing, oh yeah, she's gonna fail. This ain't college. She's getting acclimated.
They was hoping on it and praying.
Yeah, I'm saying they're hoping on her failure because
shit.
The girl gonna bring money to the league. Fantastic. I don't know, and that's the dynamic of not all women, but some women. They rather cut their nose and spite their face. They don't give a shit because they're in their feelings. They're emotionally just led by. I don't like that. Like Josh said earlier, I don't like that bitch. Yeah, but that bitch better than you at basketball. Yeah, okay, the bitch came from a 2-parent household. Blame it on your mama. Maybe your mama should have done better. She could have found her husband. Don't be mad because a girl came from a nice background in Iowa. The girl could have went to UConn. She said, "No, I'm not going to UConn. I'm gonna make my own legacy." She went to Iowa, took the team to 2 national championship games, got the leading scoring record. So I mean, why folks hate on her for? She might be a little cocky, but yeah, when you're good, and Steph Curry's cocky, Kobe was cocky, LeBron is cocky. When you know you're good at your sport, you're gonna be a cocky. But but for whatever reason, who's this white bitch? I'm like, all right, okay. So when she busting sorry ass Angel Resse's ass, who, like you said, all she is a rebounder, mostly of her own missed shots. It's like, you got bruh saying the white girl is good with us. Because we think logically, we think rationally. We're not on that whole emotional, who this white chick thinks she is. Man, carry your ass with that shit, man. Carry your ass. It's just, if you're good, you're good. And she is. So, Angel Resse, she could be Dennis Rodman at best. Because she can't shoot for damn. And damn, man, you said that whole thing with Lisa Leslie was just a publicity stunt.
Yeah, man. She literally had a video of one training session, not multiple. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, come on, that shit was like a couple weeks ago or some shit. It was right before the fucking season ended. And I think it was just so she could say, well, I did it, I trained, I whatever, but then she's not even listening to the instruction. It's just so horrible. And like I said, shout out to Lisa Leslie, man. Again, that's one of the Yeah, that's a legend in the sport, and she has no respect. That's what I'm saying. Like
Them
everything
Z's,
about,
man. Them Z's don't care.
yeah, man. It's just sad. And then, like you say, when black women don't even understand, well, it's not they don't understand. They don't care. They don't give a fuck about.
You're not coachable. I
Yeah,
hate
they
to
don't.
say it, but some good black women are coachable to improve and be better. But other proportion that come from you can say either the single mama background or there's just the ratchet lifestyle, whether it's in the job environment. Like you knew in the Navy, when you get that young little 21 or 18 to 21-year-old whippersnapper trying to talk to you like they're at your same level, and you've been already in the service for over 10 years minimum. You're like, who the hell you think you are? But they're like, I know you're gonna respect me. A year ago, you weren't even in the service. Who the hell talking about respect? A year ago, I was on this ship, on this different ship, while we were going to the Mediterranean. Your ass was trying to figure out if you're going to apply for a job at McDonald's or Burger King. They come with that mentality. You're supposed to give me respect. No, I'm going to mind you. Meaning when you mind somebody, you're not trying to give them no disrespect. But for you to get respect, you got to prove it and earn it for me to respect you. But I'll mind you, but like, yeah, I ain't disrespect you. But when a person come in there thinking off the bat, oh, you supposed to respect me. Nah, bruh. Nah, sis. You ain't done shit. You ain't nobody. Like I tell my guys on my job sometimes, you ain't done shit to think shit to say shit. So shut the fuck up. But yeah, I appreciate you having me on. Fantastic. I'll holler back at you on another stream.
For sure, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Holler at you.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So Ryan Clark is a hypocrite. Ryan Clark was RG3 before RG3. Ryan Clark did what so many of these activists and these talking heads and these people do. They become pro-black experts after, being in love with the white man. The white man or the white woman's ice is always colder. We see this even just more with the whole divester aspect of it, right? And the swirler, right? Once they fail with that and the white boys don't want them, then they come back to the niggas and, oh, my black king this and black men are this and black men are that. And you go and look on their Twitter feed and I can't wait to get me a white boy. White boys are the best. And these niggas ain't shit and la la. Told you, man, women are survivalists. Okay. Black women are fucking addicted to any type of praise, any type of positive promotion or praise. Black women with it, bro. They're gonna eat that shit up. 1000%. Yeah, he married a black woman after he got a white woman pregnant. Yeah. So now he gets the motherfucking yeah. So now he gets to come back and chastise all of the black men that are doing what he's done. And then at the ultimate thing, because you had a kid with this white woman, bro. You just have a relationship. You made a kid with her. Patty, what up? You feel me? Yeah, I told y'all, man. Listen, you need to be aware of these things, man, and don't you be the one, nigga. Don't be the one that's getting caught up over some good head and some good pussy now, because a lot of these women are gonna pretend to act right because they fucking water being cut off, losing jobs, cutting government assistance. They not gonna have no other place to go than what? A man. The natural order. And again, I'm gonna do a Trump stream. I don't know if I'm gonna do it this weekend or I might save it to next week. But a lot of people being quiet about all this Trump shit. Trump got a lot of motherfucking W's coming this way. The tariffs work. China bent the knee. UK cutting deals. I'm just saying. Niggas had all that shit to say, and we not even 200 some days in? Not even halfway through the year, bro. Well, it can't be 200. Well, is it 200 days? Yeah, I guess it's 200 days. So a little bit over half. Yep. Ain't heard nothing about it. Freedman's ain't heard nothing about eggs. Ain't heard nothing about gas. Putting pressures on these motherfucking what's named at an all-time high? Bitcoin's at an all-time high. Gold still going up. You say what? They would pretend they have learned. They would pretend to have learned a lesson, though. Mr. Fantastic coming back with a load of lies. What lies am I telling? Everybody keeps saying that shit, man. What is I saying? The terrorists are not a win. How did he bend the knee to fucking China when China fucking bent the knee to him? China lowered their fucking tariffs and we have higher tariffs on them than they have on us. No, bro, they folded. What are you talking about? And again, y'all keep saying this that he started it, but again, I said this to shout out to Logic. Yes, Trump started the fucking trade agreement that was going on. Biden kept the shit going. But once Biden got in and kept what Trump going on because it was working when Trump was there, everybody bucked. Nobody else kept up their end of the bargain. So you can't blame Trump for, even though he started it when he was working, when he was president, everyone was following the fucking rules and agreeing to the deal, upholding the end of the deal. Now, as president, if some shit's working, you keep it rolling. Of course, you're going to keep it rolling because it's being successful. But now, if the fucking people come in, don't respect you, and they just do whatever the fuck they want to do and raise everything up and do all this wild and crazy shit, you can't then blame him for when he, you know what I'm saying, he wasn't in charge to try to enforce anything. That's why he came back and did what he did. What are we talking about? Yeah, bro. Roadblock. What are you talking, bro? Don't start with the duh shit, my nigga. Let's not do that. You can hit the link. Hit the motherfucking link, nigga. It's not just them, nigga. America is the biggest importer in the world. We import more than anybody else. The fuck are you talking about? We're the largest consumers. Duh. So what the fuck is you talking about? Some fucking duh. Obviously, duh, motherfucker. We import more than anybody else in the fucking planet. The hell are you talking about? Thank you. Thank you, Paul Game. What are we talking about, man? The woman that come back to men when they lost their jobs will pretend to have learned the lesson, though. Miss Fantastic coming back. Oh yeah, I got you. Cool. Yeah. Of course, Miss Besson. That's what I'm telling you. I'm trying to tell the brothers to be aware of that. You have to understand, like, women are gonna do whatever they need to do in order to make it. So it's gonna be a lot of fucking fake femininity and submission going on over these next few years. Once this shit, when the dust settles and whatever happens. They're not gonna have a choice. A lot of these women are losing jobs and shit, man. Again, losing jobs. And again, that's the job loss isn't even as big as the cuts, because the women that have jobs, right, and you have a good job history, good resume, all these different things, you'll be able to find more work. But the women that were subsidizing their jobs with government assistance is gonna be the problem. A lot of these women, man, again, brag about all the money they got and all the shit they can afford, because again, they're getting a huge discount on rent. We've been over this, right? Yeah, exactly, big boy. That's what I'm saying. Nigga, China didn't have a fucking choice. You literally shut it. If you're the biggest fucking sole customer and you say, hey, well, fuck it, we're gonna charge the fuck out of you to send shit here, which we know you got to send it here. We your biggest fucking customer, and that means people and businesses are gonna stop motherfucking taking on your shit. Now you got to sit on a whole bunch of product. You can't move nowhere else. Yeah, hey, 100,000 lost, man. 100,000 jobs lost. Again, I learned this, and I was trying to find a thing to support it, but the guy was talking about it. I sent. If somebody has the source for it, you can please send it to me. Actually, no, I got it. I just got to find it. I saved it. Black women overrepresent as government workers, bro. They overrepresent in government jobs, so they're going to be highly affected when you have these shrinks of forces and things like that, and so on and so forth. And you got government cutbacks. Did you notice all the China bots on Twitter? Then Trump increased the tariffs. Yeah, man. Hey, listen. I'm in a bind, Nate. I'm in a bind, Nate. It's going to be a whole lot of I'm in a bind, Nate. I'm telling you. Bro, you don't know what you're talking about, fam. You're just talking. You're just talking, bro. You're just talking, but it's cool. You need people to just talk shit and have Trump derangement. Fatty's translation is fucking horrible, nigga. Don't ever let motherfucking Fatty listen to you say some American shit and have to tell it to the police, nigga. You going to jail. Okay? If Fatty is your American interpreter, brother, I hope you got motherfucking bond money ready. You hear me? Because without a doubt,
you going to jail. That statement gonna send you to jail.
Exactly. Yeah, listen, man. What he gonna say next, Friedman? Ambush. They ambushed. He ambushed the South American president. Ambush. Yeah, man, stop it, bro. I'm not. These niggas is funny. Exactly. The shit just fucking had the largest, one of the largest rallies, like what, last week or some shit. What are we talking about, bro? Jesus Christ. Yeah, man. What are we talking about, man? But again, you need brothers like that, man. Shout out to all the people that are actually, paying attention to the real information and getting out here and not just listening to fucking CNN or Fox or MSNBC and doing your own research, man. We literally live in the information age where whatever you want to know, you ain't even got to type it. You can talk it into a motherfucking search engine and get the answer. Talk the shit and get the fucking answer, bro. What was we saying? But listen, man. At the end of the day, shout out to RG3. The brother was being a professional. He was talking about sports. That's all he did. That's what he does for a living. And he should not have had his family and his choice of women be brought up in any way, shape, form, or fashion. That was out of pocket. Okay. If he was a different type of nigga, he might have pulled up on Ryan Clark and he would have been justified. Right? Just to come to find out, all this shit is talking about not understanding black women and all this other shit and so on and so forth. This nigga had a kid with a white woman. And again, so what? He has to make the sacrifice. He has to sacrifice RG3 to the black woman's altar for him having a white wife and white family or mixed family. Okay. He got to sacrifice him, man. You got to make an example out of this kid. Step and fetch it. Uncle Tom. Cornball brother. A cornball brother. Listen, man. And I say, listen, I engage in this shit at times, but it's usually I keep it that way. If niggas saying something to me, bro. Again, there's so many different archetypes of black men. We got to get out of this shit where every nigga just got to be hood, bro. I am not hood at 41. I'm retired. Okay. I got property, motherfucker. I just cut my car insurance in half yesterday. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time to be worried about impressing none of you motherfucking nothing ass, gutter ass niggas. You hear me? Not at all. I ain't trying to get out here and motherfucking jump off the porch. I ain't trying to motherfucking slide, ride, motherfucking wipe noses, none of this shit. Yeah, man, that's one of the biggest things black men gotta fucking remove from the identity of being a black man. You know what I'm saying? You ain't real, nigga. You ain't no real nigga. I don't want to be a real nigga. You go to fucking Dubai. They don't recognize real niggas in Dubai. American. That's it. China. Japan. Brazil. Colombia. Don't none of that real nigga shit exist nowhere else, bro. You're just an American. Yo, what up?
What up, though?
I can't complain. What's up with you?
I want to gauge something from you real quick.
Sure.
Damn, I forgot what you said now. Or it was earlier in the stream. But I guess I'll just engage, unless it comes back to me, I'll just engage with what you was just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really expect for people who live their lives locally to have a world point of view?
No, that's not reasonable. But being that you have access to the world, I expect you to at least try to garner something outside of.
Well, you
feel
mean, yeah, so you're talking about like basically with the power of the internet, right?
Yeah. So just like we go searching for whatever we go searching for, right? Like you go looking for some shit or whatever, you come across a thing or you get trapped in a rabbit hole. You see somebody else say some shit about it, you can literally go and get an experience for that, whatever you see someone else referencing. Versus, and this is why I say that, right? Now I understand your question. So I know how to approach it now. So say a brother talks about passport or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
The problem that happens is niggas immediately attack it. And you're seen as an outcast, a lame, or a person that couldn't make it because of your lack of blackness, hoodness, or whatever, versus having that that assessment of it or that assumption, you can now, at your own behest, you know what I'm saying, go look into it and see the things that are there available as to why it may be appealing. Now, if you will just still disagree after you see what's there and the opportunities or whatever, and so on and so forth, okay, it's fair to have that opinion. But to just knock something down off the strength of, and the assumption being that, oh, well, you got to do that because you can't make it here, that's the problem.
I mean, so firstly, I do want to acknowledge, I understand what you're saying. I think, and it's okay for me to use niggas, right?
Yeah, for sure.
As well as we can say, yo, man, you know, it's you know how we do the conversation about blacks versus niggas.
Yeah.
I think we have to also get to a point where we stop trying to change niggas into black people. You need some niggas, right? Like we absolutely need them in order for society to work. You know that we have to have a poor class. You know that we have to have a working poor class in order for capitalism to work. And there's a certain mindset that comes along with that. I think that just needs to be accepted. Right now, they can do extreme behavior that we can absolutely criticize and condemn. But just from a mindset point of view, I don't understand how we can actually condemn people for having the mindset that comes along with their economical situation. Right. And understandably knowing that not everybody could change it, or it would be valueless. Money and success and material would be valueless if everybody could have it. So to some degree, you, I believe, even understand that there's a level of suppression as it pertains to allowing everybody to flourish. So if we need these people to be here economically, and we know what that's going to be like on them from a psychological and emotional standpoint, why demonize them for being what we're creating?
Okay, well, no, I don't think it's a demonization, and I completely, totally agree with you. There's always going to be a need, actual need. I agree with you saying a need for the poorer class in order for just, you know, capitalism to work the way it's supposed to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
The problem with it though is it just we're surpassing the economic aspect of it. So then you kind of alluded to it. The behavior is more so the issue and the problem. If you're just gonna be poor and you're gonna be, because we always had poor people, right? The thing is, we go back to the 70s, even 80s, right? Well, before crack hit, but in most places where you didn't have crack, people were poor, but people still worked, families were still together, people were still finding legal ways that weren't harming the community at large to do things and figure it out in their poorness and try to overcome. And and a lot of people, went from poor to middle class. The issue we're having is you have an overrepresentation. This is why I say, just like the whole immigrants thing, right? I'll just shift it real quick to the immigrants. The immigrants are a necessity for the American fucking food industry to work. You know what I'm saying? Anything agricultural, fruit, vegetables, no American's going to get out there and pick that shit for what they paying them to do it, right? And if they did, that would literally, no one would be able to afford any type of produce, all right? The problem, though, once you get an overrepresentation of those workers or those illegals, now they're taxing the system on the inverse because you got taxpayer dollars going to those people versus it just being balanced because you got just enough to make everything work the way it's supposed to work. So when I'm talking about niggas, that's what I'm talking about. Over the years, we've seen this. Like I said, we were able to go outside and play. Kids can't even go outside and play no more. You feel me? In a lot of situations. So that's what when I'm talking about the niggas, that's the aspect I'm talking about. It's the worst of the worst. And not even aspiring to get out, because even when we was, poor kids or whatever, hey, I want to grow up in this. Niggas wasn't talking about, I want to grow up and still hang the fucking block and, sling rocks and shit and so on and so forth. And again, I'm not saying, of course, not the majority of black people want to do that or niggas want to do that.
Yeah,
but
no, you're right.
Even it being said wasn't a thing. You feel me? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's the culture aspect of it.
Yeah, I you're absolutely 100% correct. And I think, truth be told, though, I think one of the biggest issues, and it was ironic because I was just talking about this on my show. Joy Taylor made this comment on a recent episode of her show where she said that the problem we have in society right now are sexless incel men who believe that they should have access to the top women. And I think you and I both know that that's not what's been said over the past 10 years with this whole manosphere red pill thing. It's been more of the women on the bottom believing that they all should have access to the top men. And the men are saying, hey, y'all women that's down here with us, why are you dissing us? And why are you telling us that we aren't good enough? And I think in the same way, though, that the women are doing that, culture is doing that as well. We're demonizing what is normal income, normal material, normal household, right? I saw an episode the other day with I forget the name of the podcast, but it's with that guy Ish with Joe Budden. They were talking about how they were looking at certain jobs, bus driver, police officer, firefighter, this and that. And it's like, oh, yeah, you have that job, but that job only pays this much money. You're looked at as a bum now. Right. So even if we were young and we had aspirations to make it to the NBA, the NFL, or be a big time rapper, or whatever, we always felt like we could fall back on the bus. We could fall back on, school teacher. We could fall back on, police officer, firefighter, any of these things. But now, if you're in a specific area and they're not paying a lot of money in those positions, you're getting shamed for that, let alone being shamed for being poor. Right. So from a cultural standpoint, where do we draw the line on shaming? Like, where do we say, hey, listen, it broke needs to be the last thing black men say to each other. If I'm mad at you and you broke, I'm not gonna throw that in your face. I might throw you stink, your arm is twisted, your mama didn't like you, like anything, your wife cheated on you, anything but that, because now they're starting to say, oh, if you make, I'm about to react to a video of Fantastic. This girl, I ain't gonna lie, to me, fine in a month. And I don't even react to Kendra G, but she fine in a month. I gotta do it. 3 kids, minimum requirement was $115,000. So she basically telling the dude that make $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year, you ain't good enough.
Yeah, you don't qualify.
You understand? So if we're gonna tell the women not to do that, shouldn't we also not do that as well? Like, shouldn't we also not make fun, demonize, or put down people who make you know what I'm saying, that certain amount of money because we understand that we need them basically for society to work.
Well, no. So I'll say this, right? And like I said, outside of personal shit or whatever, I stay away from that. I champion the aspect of, and I'm one of the people that have been telling black men, if you're making above the household income as an individual, you're doing damn good in 99% of the country, right? Everybody loves saying it. Now, that's just it's funny you brought that up, and I was gonna say this, bro. They even shame making 100K. Niggas shame that. Niggas say 100K ain't no money, right? That's the only group of people out here in mass say that $100,000 is no money. It's crazy, like not a little bit of money, but no money, right? So I think that comes into the cultural aspect which you was talking about, though. You know, money's hoes, cars, clothes, all this type shit. You gotta fucking, look like you got it. You feel me? In order, and be a rapper, be a pro athlete, be able to drive the Bentley, all the bullshit, right? In order to
can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
Would you say that that's a nigga mentality? Or would you say that that's American culture? The idea of looking like you got it, even when you don't, and all of that, fake it till you make it.
It's a nigga mentality. That's a nigga mentality. White people, or not just white people, Asians and whatever, for the most part, they don't wear their money, as they say, or at least not make it. What's name? You have to know, right? So of course you got your Rolex, you got your APs, you got your things like that. They're not fucking putting diamonds all in them. They just wear them like they are, right? A lot of them, like you said, they got. I saw a dude saying this other day. He got like a little regular, Camry or some shit that he drives around. Of course, he got the he might have a Bentley or some expensive, new model foreign car for the year, back home. But his daily driver, for the most part, is something that's going to be unassuming, right? He wearing khakis and a fucking polo shirt that's ill fitting. He ain't got designer this, designer that. So that's the nigga aspect of it, as to where we have to make it look like we got it, because otherwise you're not gonna be respected. If you don't look like you got money, niggas not trying to listen to you.
Can't argue with that part of it. I just always wonder if any of this stuff is our creation. Honestly, if I'm being sincere, I'm having a hard time placing that prior to Black culture, the idea of faking it till you making it, this whole thing. Because when you look at the branding, to your point, like Rolexes and all that type of stuff, I don't think they make that stuff for poor people, right? They make that stuff for people who can afford it.
Yeah.
And then it's just, you have poor people who try to go out and get it, and to your point, to look like they got it, right? So I guess I mean maybe I have to concede to that one, but usually I think of everything from a Western standpoint of view. It's not us. We're just following the trend, even if it's the acceptance. What are we really trying to get the acceptance of? Because at this point, I don't even necessarily think men are mostly vying for the acceptance of women. It seems like they're mostly vying for the acceptance of other men.
No, that's the way it's always been. So now, especially so black men have been the only men that were out of order, right? You had to be accepted and respected amongst men. Otherwise, you'd be not only outcast, but you'd be fucking bullied. You'd be picked on. So you had to establish yourself amongst the men first, and then the women came after the fact, right? Now we live in a society as to where, you don't have to be so dependent upon everybody else. Everybody's else able to have a level of autonomy and, be kind of independent. So now I can do whatever I'm doing and solely focus on the women, make myself and any and everything for the women, right? But then if I'm amongst a group of men, now it's some shit, because I've never had that true masculinity, and I don't know what to do in the face of that type of adversity. And if those men understand it, now they're gonna make me look stupid in front of the women. And no matter how much or whatever I have, it's moot now, because these niggas that seem to be less than me or whatever just embarrass me in front of the hoes, because they know I'm not built for and I'm not used to having the respect of men. So I think one of the biggest flaws of black men, again, is the focus of the woman being everything, any and everything. Niggas get swag, niggas get riz, niggas get everything they get, niggas buy clothes, niggas buy cars. Everything niggas doing is for the hoes. That's a problem.
Yeah, I thought it was that. That's what I'm saying. I always believed it was that, but now it almost seems like it's not that. Particularly if we're in the middle of a gender war, And it seems like, I know they say by the numbers, it doesn't seem like it's this great shift in voting practices as it pertains to black people and more particularly black men. But the rhetoric seems to be more right leaning, conservative leaning, even if they aren't necessarily punching the ballot in masses. And that's what I'm saying. Like in the beginning, to your point, that basis of acceptance from men, it couldn't have been about possessions, right? It had to have been about work ethic, right? Family, lineage, stuff like that. You know, ability to use your hands and stuff like that. So at some point, it became about being flashy and all of that. So even if I go back to the 70s, right, when I'm thinking about that time period, I think that when that black exploitation period kind of happened was probably when you first started seeing the flashiness amongst men. And even in that era, I think that was more about the underground markets, pimping, drug dealing, gangstering, stuff like that. So can we say that even in that time period, that image was based on them trying to mimic, let's say, what the gangsters was doing, the mafia was doing, the mob was doing by being flashy, but they kind of like did it in their own way, more jewelry. I don't know what is this thing with us in the jewelry? Like now that I think about it, because I don't really see, I don't historically, I don't see other people wearing all this big ass jewelry. Fantastic. Like,
Yeah, I honestly don't say it. Again, they like to, even though, you know, FBA and shit now, niggas love to say it goes back to Africa, which would be accurate, right? But yeah, I don't know where we got this affinity for big gaudy jewelry and stuff like that or whatnot, what have you. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you if I wanted to. Like you said, even back then, people were expressive with the clothes, right? But then, like I said, I don't know where it got to where niggas had the big ass dookie chains and shit and, you know, rings and all this other shit. I have no idea. I couldn't even tell you. That's interesting.
I mean, it's a story, right? But remember the whole premise behind Denzel Washington's character in American Gangster getting caught was, oh, he wore this big flashy fur suit.
Exactly. Yeah. Or
You see
fucking
what I'm
chinchilla.
saying?
Yeah, chinchilla.
But what are
coat.
you mimicking in that point, right? Because I don't remember seeing fur suits on it. Well, I guess I'm making your point.
Well, no, and that's what you're saying. So even when the Italians did it, the Italians had, you know, they probably had a custom made suit or you know, Armani suit or whatever, you know, bespoke and shit. But but you know, they wasn't doing anything so crazy as to where, you know, and then like you said, you not only you sitting at the front row of the motherfucking fight, your ass goddamn got a whole chinchilla hat and coat on. You the only
right.
You know what I mean? So yeah,
That hat was big as hell.
Yeah. Big ass motherfucking, you can kill the whole motherfucking generation of chinchillas. But let me get Artifacts in here, man. They we'll get back to it. What's up with your Artifacts? What's with your brother?
No, what's good, Mr. Fantastic? Salute, Beans. No, you know, I'm here. I'm just listening, man. I ain't got no notes specifically.
Okay,
No, I just appreciate the dialogue, and I'm gonna jump in when I fit in.
okay, bet for sure. So Beans, what was you saying? What was it? It was a question you asked, and I wanted to address directly.
The last one.
Yeah, you was asking about the how did we arrive here, or if it was some other outside forces. No, I think within the culture, you have the majority control at all times. Like I say, it's like the example you gave of West, to where the mafia or whatever, whatnot, what have you, right? If you see something from another group that you like, and then you adopt it, but you remix it or you add to it, yeah, it might have originated there, but you literally made it your own by adding your specific twist and turn and you know, flavor or spice onto it. Because like I said, I don't think it's anything outside of fucking, like, you know, I guess like gangster movies and shit or so on and so forth that we could align directly now in 2025 with the gangsters and the mafia back in the 70s. You feel me? I understand the crime, sort of introducing the crime and the drug trade aspect to it. Yeah, obviously, right. But them motherfuckers weren't mixing nothing. It was what it was. You had pure, either, you know, coke or fucking boy, whatever it was. You sold that shit like it was. Niggas got into being motherfucking amateur chemists and shit. You feel me? And started doing shit or whatever, and you know, paid for it in more ways than one. So
well, but, I mean, but the thing I would say is that at least one of the arguments that I've heard made is I think prohibition lasted less than 20 years.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, in this particular drug war, it went on for a while. I mean, it's still going on technically because it shocked me not a couple of years ago. I heard somebody talking about, it's still spots. I'm like, really? Like, it's still dope spots? Like, it's literally still places where people pull up and buy crack and all this other stuff. Like, yeah, I'm like, damn, I did not know.
Crackheads in 2025. You wouldn't believe it, but hey, they out here.
That's just wild to me, bro. I'm not outside, so I don't see it. You know what I'm saying?
So I just got this being so the CIA pushed the drugs out here because of the Vietnam War. Because they kind of figured that when the guys got back home from war, were they going to go crazy? So I think that's my perception of when they threw them drugs out here. They kind of thought that the Negroes, or they had a perception that the Negroes was going to go crazy because they ain't have nothing to do after the Vietnam War. That's why they put them damn drugs out here. Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, I could probably see why you would come up with that, but if I'm just going off of what's been presented, it was just economical. Right? It was an economical thing. Like, hey, we need to generate some money. Well, how can we do that? Okay, this is how we could do that. Right? Like,
Or did it become economical?
No, I'm saying it was
after they figured it was
for the government. Like the government needs money too. Y'all understand that, right? Like they don't just get to go around and say, "Let me get this done." Like they don't get to order, 10,000 assault rifles and machine guns and shit.
No. I think the government understood I don't think the government understood what they was doing in the beginning, but I think they kind of figured that we was going to pick up the trait that they got going on. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, it started off as a. Go ahead.
No, yeah. So I'll say it like this. Here's the thing about it. There's two things that you can pretty much guarantee poor people will do: make babies and cope. Right? And by cope, I mean they will use drugs. They're gonna smoke cigarettes. They're gonna drink alcohol. Bro, listen, they came and I think it was the 90s, right? In the 90s, we was chilling, we was smoking weed, it was all good. And the next thing I knew, somebody said, "Hey, ecstasy." Right? Nobody knew what it was. Nobody understood the chemical makeup, none of that. Next thing you know, everybody popping pills, right? Molly. All this different shit, Percocet. It don't matter what it is. People are going to get high. People need to cope with life, bro. In a general sense, it's not this. We make it seem like it's just the greatest thing in the world to be in America, to be in Paris or wherever you at. Like for most people, they trying to cope with existing. Because most people's dreams and aspirations do not come true. Life ain't easy. It ain't a cakewalk. They trying to make all these goddamn decisions. You dealt bad hands depending on what race or what neighborhood, what country, what religion. Like, you know what I mean? So, of course, they knew, we put this drug out here and market a certain way. People going to use it. They're going to take to it like a fish to water. But I'm just saying in the beginning, the principle behind putting the drugs there was to make some money. Hey, let's make some money. It don't want like they just push the drugs all across the country at one time. It was one place at first. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. It's levels because it's peer pressure. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's levels to the peer pressure thing. So, but how much do you damage yourself though? Like, okay, you smoke weed, okay, you pop Molly, but how long does these vices keep, deterring you from getting to a certain goal? Because then we start looking at self. Because I know a lot of brothers that had the smarts, but the circumstances pushed them to fall towards peer pressure. You're going in a certain environment, you go to school with most of the people you're around damn near poor. You know what I'm saying? So that environment pushes you to fall towards, peer pressure. Me, I saw different environments. I lived in Baltimore for a minute, so I saw the impoverished. So I had to work around that environment. But then I also lived in the upper middle class where blacks kind of protected their own. You had a sense of pride. And yes, the FBA, the understanding of Black history gives you that inclination like, okay, I got something to be proud of in America as a Black man. I think we look towards the street aspect because that's the specific environment we are in. It's not to necessarily say that, oh, this is what I want to be long term, but it's just to say like, okay, this is what I got to work around at this moment so we can get to the other side. But from my experience, yeah, most of us are going to fall at least one time towards peer pressure coming from a certain environment. But at what point do you stop and say, oh, I can't do A, B, and C because I know where that's going to lead. If I do this, I'm going to get high blood pressure. You know what I'm saying? If I do that, you know what I'm saying, I'm not going to have this. So at what point does, you know, the vices and the falling towards these things because of, you know, certain inequities, like at what point do we look at ourselves in the mirror and say, oh, I did that shit, and you know what, I gotta take responsibility for all the shit I done did. And it's not that I'm a bad motherfucker, it's just the fact that, okay, I started off like this, I was raised in this environment, but then, hey, I got an exit plan to get out, and let me go ahead and see if I can try that route instead of following everybody else's route. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I look at it. You know what I'm saying?
But you got to remember, right? One of the things I think I said this not too long ago. One of the things that I realized is that, you know, they say, you know how they say hindsight is 20/20? Well, one of the things about that, though, is that I think a lot of times we forget that we have changed our minds and our beliefs as we get older, right? So there's a whole energy, there's an energy around you, I would say, between the ages of maybe 15 and 35, right? It's a different energy. It's a very rebellious energy. You are trying to be a man. You are trying to be autonomous. You know, that desire and need to feel and be grown, and you know what I'm saying, like not to be held back, to do whatever you want to do. And so I think that kind of gets lost. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that stuff that we did when we was young, bro, I'm 16, 17. It's me and 5 people marching on another block, 20 blocks away to go fight 15 people. You couldn't pay me to do that now. Right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, and it ain't like I don't love my brothers, no less, but I'm not finna march, you know what I'm saying, 20. I'm not walking 2 blocks, let alone 20, first of all, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like the energy is different, the mindset is different. You're younger. Even the Bible tells you when I was a kid, I thought as a kid. You know what I'm saying? But now that I'm older, I'm grown, I think like an older and I'm a grown person. So we have to understand that some of that naivete that is present in our youth, it's a part of growing up. We can't necessarily judge them for being rebellious. I mean, rebellion is a good thing sometimes. Look at how much stuff we have today because people chose to rebel.
Rebelling against an oppressive system, you gotta leave that part out.
Yeah, I'm just saying in general, like whatever it was. What people today, nowadays, there's a lot of things that you can do because somebody said, nah, I'm not just gonna stand by on this. You know, all the RG3, my man Fantastic was just talking about RG3, right? Hey, that white girl he got, let's go back 50 years, 60 years. It'll be a problem, right? But somebody said, nah, come on, man, y'all gotta cut this out. Right. So but on one hand, we want to judge the rebellious people, but then on another hand, you realize you need them because they willing to take stands sometimes that you not, even with all your intelligence. I'm talking about you. I'm saying in general, including myself.
Yeah, but and that's what I say, right? So if it's for a cause, I can understand it, but if it's for the sake of just being rebelling and doing what the fuck I want to do, that's totally different. So if we're doing it for a cause and for the overall betterment of a group of people or society, yeah, by all means, right? Racism was wrong, right? Slavery was wrong. So that's something where, you know, you had to have people stand up and whatever. But if it's for the sake of me to motherfucking sell dope and break the law, nah, you rebelling by breaking the law, but nobody's benefiting from it, right? And then I know you used it. Let me give credence to something you say a lot of times, right? The big pharma aspect of it, right? Mm-hmm. Big pharma is like one of the most corrupt fucking systems, you know, out here. But
$billion industry.
Yeah, with that being said, though, there's actually some good in it. Even though a lot of bad is in it, at best you could argue 50-50, or you know, you see what I'm saying? There's equal benefit to a lot of the deficit. There is no benefit to illegal drug trade. You feel me?
I can't see how you can argue 50-50. I can understand the point, but I can't see how you could argue 50-50. That I don't think what medicine do they produce that don't come with side effects that's not killing people, right? Everything that they produce kills people.
No,
I mean,
or inhabits them, or I mean, incapacitates them in some kind of way.
Yeah, it has some type of negative side effects, but that's usually if it's abused, right? So the majority of all medicines, the majority of medicines have some sort of negative side effects, but that's if it's not taken in the prescribed dosage that it should be taken, or unfortunately a person has an allergic reaction, right? That's why they ask you, hey, are you allergic to any drugs? So of course that would be an outlier though.
But that was also true of what we would consider street drugs if you remove crack, right? Like cocaine in itself, opium in itself, marijuana in itself, all three of those were perfectly legal at some point. And it was only problematic when it was abused. And when it was abused, they viewed it very sympathetically, right? Until they started using that drug to demonize certain demographics of people, to remove them from being a threat to the economical monopoly for white people, right? Like they were trying to, hey, listen, man, black people, Mexican people, Asian people taking too many jobs. We need to get them out of here. So, but what I'm saying is the same can be said, right? As much as I know, people who was on crack, my mom did crack for like a year and a half, bro. She went to work every day. The bills was paid. We always had food. It was never an issue at the crib as far as like financially, dirty crib, none of that. Talking about crack.
She's an exception because we all know that.
No, but she's not the exception. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Across America, sir.
You're saying most
fiends on the corner.
So you're saying most crack users were functional users?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's not.
I disagree.
That one, bro.
Now, I don't know about that one,
bro. Y'all gotta think. Okay, listen.
Any hood in America can show you that. Any hood in America.
I'm willing to hear it out.
All you gotta do is just think. Just stop and think for yourself and say, how many people do you think were on crack? And then ask yourself, how many did you see outside hanging on the corner? And you'll have the answer for yourself.
Out of the community, I would say at most a strong 15, maybe 20%.
Right. And don't forget, as a person who hustled once upon a time, the ones who used to come from all around.
I got you.
Right?
But
so that's what I'm saying. Like, and they didn't come from all around and then just stand out on our corners. They got what they came to get, and they went home.
Yeah, but
they had jobs.
I'm not shooting that. So I think this is where we missing each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like the brother said, I believe they had a job and rent and whatever. But as far as them being orderly, like you say, your mom was definitely an exception, bro. Being an orderly crack user, brother.
Yeah.
Great.
She
was. I think y'all.
She was a functioning. How they say functioning addict? How they be saying?
Yes, but what I'm saying is,
I'll kick it back to you, Beans.
Yeah,
Beans. All the people I knew that moms were using crack, of course, they weren't out, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, alone and so on and so forth, right? They weren't homeless. They had a place to stay, but we knew your mama was doing something strange for a piece of motherfucking change in her next hit.
They'll steal. They go to the store,
So that's
sell
what I'm saying.
Body,
More likely than not, the people, and of course, as a little kid, you know what I'm saying, and even like a bigger kid, I had no, and I wasn't in the streets. I did not have, a fucking view of 100% of the drug users. But I'm just saying, for the examples, and those of my friends that happen to be, you know what I'm saying, of those households.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I knew what came with that from them, their experience. And then looking at, like you said, of course, the bums, the homeless fucking bums is a small percentage.
Right.
But what we're saying is, people are able to work and afford their habit. But most of those people aren't orderly, highly functioning people. They literally are working to uphold a habit because, they're addicted to a drug.
Mm-hmm. But that's what I was saying. Like, if you think about what I said my mom went to work. We was never hungry. The lights weren't never cut off. The crib wasn't nasty.
Yeah, that's what we saying.
That's regular. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know why people don't think that's regular, bro. I had a lot of family members and a lot of friends from my neighborhood who moms and mostly moms, that was there. But
y'all had the designer crack, brother. Y'all had the designer crack. Y'all put something.
Hey, what's up? What's going on, y'all?
What's up, Dub? What's up, brother?
I just came with the co-sign what Bean says.
He's down a crack, Dub.
He's right. When it comes to drug addiction or alcohol addiction across the board, most people who are addicts are actually functioning addicts. Like the people that you see on the street or the crackheads or the alcoholics, those are the extreme cases.
Absolutely.
Like most addicts across the board, any drug one thing, you would not just look at them and say, "Oh, that's a crackhead," or "That's an alcoholic," or "That's a."
You know what? No, so
but they are highly addicted to the drug of their choice.
You know what though, and I will definitely concede on the alcohol part because I ran into that a couple of times with females, bro. Motherfuckers had no idea. And outside of like once you see them, like I'm talking about high jobs and you know professional, attractive, all this shit, but that bitch a lush, nigga.
Yeah, cokehead same way. And also too, people consume their drug different ways. Some people are steady drug users; they'll use it every day. Some people are binge users, like they might not use all week, but then go all out on a Friday. Yeah. So it's when it comes to addiction, it does vary.
All right, man. So hey, listen. I concede, Beans. I fucking concede. Everybody's saying it. Everybody saying that. Apparently, y'all had the fucking these functional crackheads out here, brother.
I'm not saying it because I done lived someplace in the South and the Northeast, and you can tell. I'm on the side where you can tell if they smoke crack or not or do cocaine. And nobody wasn't looking like
powder always been different. That powder don't hit like that rock for some reason. I don't know why. Everybody powder heads, all powder heads are functional, but I think when you start doing certain shit, like for white folks to be like meth, and you ain't finna tell me there's no motherfucking functional meth head out here, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That it's different, right? It's very, very different. The effects that it have on you is different. That's what I'm saying. The people who was doing crack, bro, you got to think about it. Like the first time I saw my cousin was doing this, he had customers, bro, who would give him their debit cards, right? Because they didn't have. I ain't got no money yet. I get paid on Friday. They going to work,
and he go wait at the ATM when the check clear.
Yep.
You go to their house don't look like a instead of crackhead house. It's a regular house, but hey, you might see some paraphernalia around or whatever. But that's what I'm saying. Now you holding this man debit card all week long. He get paid. He owed you $400. You know what I'm saying? So you make sure you get your $400. You know what I'm saying? Then you give him his card back. Then he finna buy another, $300 from you. Like, so that's what I'm telling you. I've seen that happen a lot, man. My uncle was a firefighter on drugs.
But you gotta think about like the time. Like I remember Rick Ross, Vlad said that. He said he'll start off buying drugs, but it would take time for them to gradually go downhill. Like he had a nurse he been serving from his school or from his classmate or something. And she started off the first couple of years just looking regular. After that third, fourth year, she started losing teeth, start losing hair. So after a while, it's going to beat you down whether you like it or not. So you can't maintain it that long because all them drugs will catch up to you whether you like it or not. So you got to also think about the person's age and how long they've been doing it too.
Yeah, I'm not going to push back on that, but I'm just saying like that. Think about it. If we did a study on it, we would probably find out that most people don't even stay on the drugs that long. Not as long as we think. We think you take one hit of rock and you addicted for 20 years.
Y'all made me remember this right here, man. So I gotta. Things might be right, man.
Leave my boy alone.
We are crackheads, those of us who don't want to talk to anyone before we've had our coffee. No, definitely not a crackhead. 8 years clean on the 30th. I just don't want to kill anyone.
I don't think she was she really on drugs or she just playing?
Hey man, she said what she said.
That's what we saying.
Damn.
That's what we saying, man.
But listen. Say she had like 8 husbands. Come on, man. If she done had about 8 husbands now.
I never knew that.
Yeah, she had like 8. Look it up.
Doing crack, nigga. If Stacey Dash was doing crack,
is that really shocking to people? That don't shock me.
I don't think she's serious though. I don't think she's serious. I don't think she's
not out of crack.
Just because she said, I don't think she's serious.
And he can't even believe it.
That don't surprise me none, fam.
Now you know how they say she said coffee, right? She said coffee, right? What she said? What kind of drink she said?
She said coffee.
Okay, but you know how you know how people kind of like equate coffee to crack sometimes. Like they got to get them up in the morning.
Yeah, that's
So I
not
guess
what happened.
I'm just saying. I think
What
if
she
she was
said
trying,
was, no, we're not crackheads. Been clean 8 years on the 30th.
You ain't talking about
yeah,
clean from no coffee, brother. Ain't nobody
yeah.
talking about
Right. Because she's still drinking coffee. That's the point. Is she
I'm
needs the
just saying
coffee.
though, but you know how they kind of like make caffeine and coffee, like they try to make a little joke like that's comparable. If you don't get it, you need your hit or your fix.
No,
You
you
see what
have
I'm
to tell
saying?
us what she meant when she said
Yeah.
she been clean.
Okay. Well,
And
I don't
What does
know.
she mean by that?
and
Look, he can't even accept it.
I
He like,
can't.
no
I
way,
can't.
not her.
I can
I
accept
can't.
it. And I heard this. I don't know how true this is. This is what I heard. I heard that most people that would use crack were white.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
probably true.
it makes sense. It's six times as many black
Yeah,
people.
so
So yeah.
I mean,
Right.
but like crack gets painted as a black drug the same way meth gets painted as
because
a white drug.
it's
But
cheap.
like
It's cheaper.
Yes.
$5, $6,
they
$3.
were like, I saw something. It was like 60% of crack users were white. I was
The
like,
idea is
okay.
that we sold the drug, though. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. White people came to the hood to get the drug.
Yeah, it makes sense when you
You
think
know what I'm
about it.
saying? So, and
Like,
it wasn't like they stayed around. Like we used to
they bought that stuff in dip.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because we would pistol whip them if they tried to get high around the spot. Right. So
But we got to think
people
about
go home.
how these drugs got started, though. It was out of a need. Now, if you're looking at big pharma, who is promoting these drugs? It's the billionaires, right? So somehow they feel they filling a void because it was a problem. You know, some kid had Down syndrome. They need a drug for people that got cancer. So it's always a need, right, Beans? But then
Is that me or is
But
that him?
you
look
got
at
to
it a little different.
realize when
Go
it
ahead.
comes to drugs, I want to say this about like the drugs like big pharma. I don't think black people, because when we think about drugs, we think about like older black people. You're thinking about Medicare and keeping your grandmama alive or your aunt or your mama. You willing to accept and let her take anything so she can last for 2 more years or 3 more years. So I think black people just be using that for argument, just to be for the sake of being contrary.
No, it's for the sake of being intelligent.
I'm just
Right?
saying though, but I never hear nobody in the real world, in the hospital, never make posts or nothing talking about how bad these drugs are and the side effects.
Because
When you're thinking
but
about
they
drugs, you're thinking
are.
about survive for your people
Because
surviving. Yeah.
they making money off of it. Why would they tell you
Yeah.
that?
No. He's talking about the black people though. But what I'm saying is this. So here's the thing, and I'm going through this in my own family and then with my own self, bro. People are lazy, right? Usually the cure is a lifestyle change. Right? You stop eating the bullshit you want to eat every day. I myself, I can admit, and I know Fantastic ain't gonna like it. I literally just came back from McDonald's. Right? So, and I've talked shit about them. But the Wendy's line was too long. I didn't feel like getting out of my car, so I pulled into the McDonald's, man. Right? Like it just is what it is. I gotta eat something. Let me go and grab this little bullshit meal and go home. Right? So, but the problem is this: we talk shit about it. When you up at night and every commercial is try positioning. Do your eyes itch? Do your nose suffer from wetness? Do your back this? Do your neck that? And there always be some shit that everybody go through. Do you wake up in the morning? Yeah, motherfucker. Of course I wake up. Well, you should try this drug. Side effects may be death, anal bleeding, loss of function of sexual organs. Like we talk shit about it. It's just that we lazy and we don't want to make the lifestyle changes and the food changes that we need to eat to live instead of eating to satisfy your cravings, or if you like me, eating because you're depressed. So it's just that we accept it for the fact of convenience. But that shit is terrible, and I don't think nobody thinks that it isn't. That damn ass treatments and shit that they be doing for cancer, that shit, 1 minute the cancer gone, the next minute it's back. The next minute it's gone, the next minute it's back. Like, come on, man. Everybody know that shit's trash, bro.
No, I get it, Beans, but at the end of the day, we still gotta give our country credit because we still trying to fix these problems, right?
They
We're
made
trying to
them.
fix cures for cancer.
Wait, they
True.
made them.
That's true, but that's
why would I give you credit for trying to fix the problems that you made when you're still creating them?
Are they
You
trying to
haven't
fix the problem or are
changed
they
it.
just trying to treat it?
Exactly, because the money ain't in the cures.
Right. I'm not gonna kill someone I'm making $10 billion a year off of. I'm gonna keep y'all niggas sick.
Right, type shit. Like, no, I'm not giving them no credit for that shit. Just the same way y'all don't want to get the drug dealers credit for the turkeys they handed out.
No, them turkeys, they do more damage.
Let's hear the Pookie drug excuses, Beans. They always bring up white pharmaceutical companies instead of accountability in the hood.
Yeah.
See what I mean? Like it just when you say
turkeys,
that,
they
that
do more
right
damage.
there. No. But hold on. See, the problem with this right here is what I'm saying is this. It doesn't make any sense. Imagine this. Right now, there's a lady who, and shout out to Steve Crowder. I love that white boy for this. There's a lady who called a kid the N-word, right? And the conversation behind her doing that is black fatigue. The conversation ain't her doing that. Like Steven Crowder said, no, listen, we all know that was wrong. She shouldn't have did that. But let's have a bigger conversation, which is this. But then as a black person, when you say, hey, listen, yeah, I know that's a problem, or we can all say that's wrong. But let's have the bigger conversation about why some people get to do it and others don't. Now you're making excuses. You see? So this is why I don't listen to people like that, right? The white man gets to add context. Black man, just make sure you're saying the anti-black stuff so we can accept you. No, sir, I will not dumb myself down. It makes absolutely no sense for me to sit on a panel and say these drug dealers are wrong because they poison the community when these other companies, legal or not, are doing 50 times more poisoning. There's just no logic to that. None. Zero. None.
Yeah, but like I said, Beans, you still gotta address the fact of the matter that there's positive out of the pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, it's a positive.
Yes, that's what I was trying to do earlier. The same can be said from the street pharmaceuticals, though. That's the point. What's the positive can be said.
What's the positive out of crack?
Because I could say the same thing about
we got a lot of dope rap.
What's the stuff they give you with the cancer, bro?
Wilder, bro. What you say?
I
what?
mean, no Jeezy without crack.
You have cancer.
We bringing Jeezy into it. You might be right, brother. You gotta,
no Pusha T.
They can rap about something else, brother.
No Pusha T without crack.
I emerged from the crack smoke, niggas. Like you know what I'm saying.
MC said that too. What would life be without D?
What's the stuff that they try to give people when they dealing with cancer? It's like, oh, we need to
chemo.
Chemo, yeah. Right? So I'm saying they can say the same thing. That shit, I think the success rate on chemo is like maybe 15, somewhere between 15.
Is it 15%?
It's not good at all.
So if you itemize it, Beans, like I said, certain things are going to be far more harmful than helpful or whatever, and that's an extreme thing, right? So, but if let's say aspirin, right? People use aspirin every day, right? And aspirin can actually help prevent heart attack if taken at the right time and in the right dosage, right? It's a regimen. Another thing,
you know about the healing and medicinal properties of marijuana.
Yeah,
right?
But that doesn't help. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So if it's but the problem is again when it's especially now. So let me address this. When we move around.
Now it's horrible. I ain't gonna stop.
We'll make the comparisons. What I'm saying is this, right? So aspirin, diabetes medicine, insulin, right? Insulin. What else? Something else that people just have to have. Asthma. People that have asthma, right? Stuff like that. So what we're saying is the pharmaceuticals have things that you can, without a doubt, beyond the shadow of a doubt, say, hey, people need this. Not only do they need it, they depend on it to live. You feel me?
Absolutely.
Can't do that. You can't do that on the recreational side. Now it may, if it makes you feel better or whatever, so on and so forth. Crack, cocaine is not life-saving. None of that.
Yes, but see, that's what I'm saying. To your point about itemizing it, right? That if you remove crack, you can make an argument for all of those other drugs. That's what I'm saying. They were once used recreationally. And here's the thing: they're absolutely, even if you don't look at it from a medicinal point of view, which is the physical side of it, they're still being looked. You can still look at it from a therapeutical side of the table.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The therapeutics.
So it still make you feel better. It's still for you to be able to cope. It's still for you to be able to exist, right? That was the point of it. Even though it was recreational, it was still therapeutical.
If you can't do it without high rates of addiction and Dub, I just muted it up, bro, because you had a lot of background for some reason. I think you probably at work. But that's what I'm saying. So if it's addictive, because most pharmaceutical drugs aren't addictive. Now of course opioids.
That's not true. You know how we notice that's not true? Because okay, even if you say about the addictiveness, right? But the thing, even if I agree with you that it wasn't about it being addictive, the thing about the pharmaceutical shit is that once you get on them, you damn near need them for life. You can't really get off of them. What we saw with those medicinal things that they was giving to kids who was dealing with stuff like ADHD and all of that is that when they tried to get off the drugs, they were going crazy. Right, all of those mental.
Yeah, but that
talk to people who try to get off of those mental.
Psycho. What's the name, George? I
yeah,
know
but back,
yeah.
all them dudes who've been on Ritalin in middle school.
What's the?
It's more so the side effects, Beans.
Yeah, hold on. What's the thing that you go when you have diabetes? Dialysis.
Insulin.
Yeah, insulin and dialysis. You own that shit forever. Is that not addictive?
Dialysis is the extreme thing. You got like kidney failure.
No.
Kidney failure.
That's kidney failure.
Yeah,
but
dialysis
is
like
you can be
yeah, you need that to live. But dialysis that's a procedure. That's not a what's name.
Yeah, but you got to do it like 3 times a week. Is what I'm saying. Yeah, right? Like you have to go do it all the time. That's what I was using it as an example of.
Oh, you ain't got to do it. You can always
last like.
Don't say it, fantastic.
Listen, you can always. Every day you ain't got to go to no motherfucking dialysis appointment. Be alone, but
it's dumb, man.
but see, most people be on dialysis for like between like 3, 5, maybe like 10 years till you find a kidney. Once you get a new kidney off it, that's how it usually works.
So would you say that most medicinal things that people use, they use it on a daily basis, or at least for the rest of their life?
No. Hold on, give me a second. Let me do super chats. Rob Platinum for the 5. Salute, fantastic. I'm sacrificing part of my Newport funds to send this to you, brother. Hopefully, brother, I just helped save your life, brother. I just cut down your lung cancer by at least 0.3%, brother. I appreciate you. Shout out to this might be Rich. Shout out to Hamp in the building. Appreciate you, brother, for the team. What's going on, bro? Shout out to True Hype for the 5. Really appreciate you, brother. Beans is right. Ozempic is a diabetic drug where one of the ingredients is synthetic lizard venom, and one of the major side effects is stomach paralysis.
Diabetic drug, lizard venom, and I forgot. You can't read.
Yeah, Ozempic shit that's some new shit. Yeah, that's a new thing. But let me get AFR here, and then we'll start chopping it back up. What's up with your AFR? What you got for me, brother?
Chilling. A couple of quick things. I'll just say, I've used, I guess, Botox. I know it's a recreational thing, but it's what is it, botulism or something like that, and you can use it to enhance your face or whatever, or look a little bit younger or whatever, and it does have a good effect. And I can see the tangible effects. People think I'm maybe a little bit younger, I get those crow's feet off me, whatever. But then I switch over to the crack cocaine and all that stuff that Poppy Blanco and people like Beans poisoned, regular 9-to-5 workers, black workers with in their youth, like it was all good. The only side effect or the only positive things I saw was they probably got a couple of crappy, European cars, some shitty European clothes or whatever, European type shit, the little nigga trinkets. And my mom was addicted on crack and treated me horribly, and other people in the neighborhood suffered. So I never really saw the positivity in this type of stuff. And so it's just funny how people like Beans and Poppy Blanco come back retroactively, and it's just like, oh, good. Like this is me personally. I just think y'all should probably have less to say about the community because you guys had a hand in destroying it. Now, if you're kind of warning people or actually tangibly getting people like that have been hurt by what y'all have done, that trend, then I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Which I think Beans, I think you say you work in your community, so cool, congratulations to that or whatever. But you know, I just really hard for me to listen when people like y'all did what y'all did, and then y'all want to point the finger at white pharmaceutical or say, oh, they're trying to keep them sick so they can keep spending up all this money, which there's a modicum of truth to that. That's not a complete lie or BS. So I'm not going to say that, but it's just like, it's like whataboutism to me. It's lame as fuck to me. And the last thing I'll say about a lot of the like Ozempic and stuff like that, unless you have an actual medical condition where it's hard for you to lose weight or whatever, besides me, but most of it is just lazy people. Like, people are just lazy. They just want convenience. And that's why people are risking going blind and all these other health complications and side effects from Ozempic. Me personally, I had problems with my weight. I just stopped freaking eating and exercise, just go into a calorie deficit, you know, naturally. Like, it's like everybody knows, you know what I'm saying? Like, people like to make losing weight harder than it really is. So I just said that. Sorry for, thank you for listening to my rant.
No, you good.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think anything good came out of slavery?
Came good out of it? What do you mean?
I mean, what I asked. Do you think anything good came out of slavery?
Kind of loaded, but I'll play with you. I would say certain individuals may have, I would say, may have benefited, and other people, obviously most Black people did not. You know, it was, you know, so I would say it's a loaded question. I'm just gonna be honest, it's a loaded question. Mostly no.
It's not. Like you either do or you don't, right? And that's the problem is with the way that we communicate each other, which is what I do mostly on my channel, just break down the way people communicate, right? It's instead of trying to figure out what the person is saying, wonder what their point is or any of that, just answer the question as asked, right? Like, here's the thing. The reason why I asked you that question is because I wanted to see if you would be willing to say that something good came out of slavery, because you said you can't see anything good that came out of the drug.
I said the positive things that came out for certain people. Like I said, niggas like you got to get a shitty BMW. You got to get some Jordans, and some, you know, hood booger sucked you off on that weekend, and her sister. Like, that's positive things, I guess, came out for you and maybe people like you. But there's a whole bunch of hurt that came out from that too. So I can recognize both.
Right, and I can hear the pain in your voice, and I apologize that it affected you that way. But the fact of the matter is,
it's not pain; it's just reality.
It's okay.
Go ahead.
Right, I'll let you say all that goofy shit about me, and I think it's okay to let me talk. Right. So the fact of the matter is, that's the reason why I asked you the question. Right, and you did answer it exactly the same way how you answered it about the drug game, except for you were way less facetious and sarcastic about it. You just acknowledged you may have individually, got something out of it, right? And so the whole point is this: it doesn't matter, because you're the type of person, like the rest of the Black conservative douchebags, who think that it is your job to stand on the side of white righteousness. So it don't matter what we say. We could pull up some statistics right now that show you exactly how the drug game in itself and the money from the drug game in itself actually helped the American economy. And you know what you would say? So what? They did this and they did that, and you wouldn't accept. It don't matter what we tell you. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter at all.
Actually, I can accept that.
The drug dealers was putting all this money in the banks, and that money also got lent out to people to go and buy those houses and cars and everything else that they got financed to do. Right? But
I don't believe that part. That bank part. That's not true.
Okay, of course you don't think it is, because if I go to work and put my money in the bank, they're going to do something different with that than what they would do with a drug dealer putting his money in the bank.
I mean,
hey, Beans, can I?
That's a yes or a no.
Well,
if you're not Boston George or Scarface, come on.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well,
no, Beans. I mean, no, Beans. He's correct though. Like, it only affected.
Hold on 1 second.
Ace and AZ had their money in their mama house in Harlem and
that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about them having it out. We're talking about the ones who put it in the bank.
Well, banking and drugs was at a higher level. It wasn't the nigga on the corner.
They do the same thing with your money that they do with employees' money. Yes or no?
But that's you making it seem like every most drugs. Hold on, I'm not. I didn't even know. I'm about to finish what I'm saying. Most drug dealers are anti. Okay, what's your question? Go ahead, answer it.
Yes or no? If I put my drug money in the bank, do they do the same thing with that they do with an employee's money? Yes or no?
Yes. But that's not, most drug dealers are anti-establishment, anti-banking, right? 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 Now answer mine. Yes or no?
No.
Well, that's not true because they have regulations
yeah.
to stop them. So
No.
Yeah,
So
but
that's
most
see,
drug
this is the
dealers,
point what I'm talking about, right? Where you don't know what you're
Wait,
talking about.
that's not true. That last
Yeah,
part's not true.
This is what I'm talking about right here, what you don't know what you're talking about, right? So when we talk about most drug dealers, y'all think most drug dealers
are
are these
poor.
guys that's standing on the corner.
they wasted their money.
Yeah, that's the
right?
low.
That's
That's
not
90%.
true.
That's
Right?
90%. Most drug dealers don't have money. That's 90%.
Absolutely. But you
They
also
paid their
don't
mama's
think,
rent and got a crappy European car. That's what they
They don't
did.
even pay their
think
mama
that these
rent.
guys also have jobs, right?
But the
And
thing
that's what I'm
is,
trying to tell you, right? Like you think either way, if you go to the big guy or if you go to the small guy, a lot of guys still had jobs, right? A lot of guys was hustling from the crib. If you go to the corner and you see
nah,
10 guys there, do you think those 10 guys account for all the drugs in the city? Is that
no.
what you really
Listen,
think? Do you
it's
really
one.
think
We
they
all
wouldn't?
know.
Hold on, bro. See, this is what I'm talking about. You motherfuckers don't never want to listen. Somebody just got through telling you that it was way more white crackheads than it was black ones.
That's true.
Okay, then. So where the fuck you think the drugs was coming from them? And where do
Okay,
you think they was putting their money?
Let's go
I
back
hear the
to the
pain in your
bank. Let's
voice,
go back.
Beans. I hear the pain in your voice, nigga.
Everybody
I get frustrated
knows
when
you
y'all
got
just
you
talk and
got
don't
all right.
process.
All right, you got one weight man with money, and you got 15 dudes who barely struggling and getting by in front, right? That's how it goes, right?
You talking about the hood, and you
Well,
talking
that's
about a block.
but you talk.
That's what
I'm
I'm saying.
saying.
We talking about drugs.
He said
from
he
New
said the
York,
drug game. Do you know how big the
from
drug
New
game
York
is?
to Los Angeles,
All
bro.
right, we know we.
Is
Okay,
most of
I
the country
said.
the hood? Yes or no?
I said Scarface, Nino
Thank
Brown,
you,
and Boston
fantastic, for
George.
answering the question because this is what
They
I'm
put
saying. They're not gonna answer the question because they know
Yeah,
the
no, most of the majority of the hood. So listen, let me level set, and
this
we'll
shit
we'll
ain't
move back
hard.
around.
You niggas just don't want to
Yeah,
think.
you won't stop trying to answer.
So hold on, hold on. So yeah, the drug game in itself. We talking about the illegal drug game. Niggas don't represent the majority of that. Again, you still the
Not
small
even
percentage.
close.
Not even close. So like you said, you got of course you still got the white people, and then you got the Mexicans, and niggas is actually at the bottom of the totem pole. Oh, and even the
Exactly.
Chinese. And even though the Chinese represent a very very small percentage, being that we know how fentanyl getting here and the fucking hit that fentanyl has, as to where now everybody's putting fentanyl in everything but water. Even the Chinese have a bigger part of it. So
Hey,
we gonna
Francis, can I ask you a question? The guys at the top, were they business owners?
of the drug game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Particularly those from the other races.
Yes.
Let me ask you
You had to
something.
have a way to watch the money.
Is there a certain thing called laundering money?
Yeah, laundering the money. Yeah, that's
Where
why
did
Rizzo
they launder the money at?
We talking about black people, or I'm
We're
talking
not
about black people
talking about
only.
the drug game.
Eric, I'm gonna get there. So let me.
All right.
I'm
Y'all all over the place.
So no, no, it's not all over the place. It's just we just walking everything down. So just calm down, brother. I got you. I promise you, I'll kick it right back to you. So like Bean saying, the majority of the major drug traffickers were money launderers. As to why we got the whole thing we know as a RICO, right? Drug criminal conglomerate. Right? Yeah, criminal enterprise, right? And you were able to hide the money of illegal gains through legal means. Okay. Black people have always been at the bottom of the drug game because black people didn't have the connection to any outside source, be it country wise
or the storefront.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So you took the most risk, received the most punishment, and got the least fucking reward for something that you're at best probably the third hand fucking, person in the situation. So, but now, to Eric A's point, we're gonna move to Eric A's point. So now, if we take it away from everything and we just strictly focus on the black community, now this is where we start getting a little bit more, attention to it, right? So we take it in comparison to everybody else, of course, yeah, there's a small percentage. But what y'all saying beings that when it came to certain drugs, the niggas had the share of the market. You know what I'm saying? When it came to crack specifically, and would you guys argue that? I don't think white boys made crack like that, right?
No, I'm not from in the city. No, because the
So
city is where black people reside, right? So yes, but that's what I'm saying. You still had. We said the drug game, so we ain't just talking about crack.
game is
I said the
Okay.
drug game
I'm talking about
did more money. I added more money and did more for the American economy, right? And I said if we showed them evidence of that, they wouldn't be able to accept it, which they just proved.
You wouldn't be able to deny it. Again, if nobody has seen it, look at Cocaine Cowboys. The whole city of Miami was built off of drug money, cocaine money.
I was gonna say Miami exists off of drug money.
Yeah, off of cocaine money. Why? Like no question, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So
who was that? Who was in charge of that? I'm asking.
Yeah.
I think
Cubans and Colombians.
Not niggas.
Okay, that's not black. I'm talking about black. We talking about black people. I'm talking about Beans. The guys Beans know.
Yeah. So Eric, I got you. Eric is saying now move it to the black thing and show
only 100% black. Nobody else. All black only. Nobody else.
Hold on, Eric. You shoot yourself. Yeah. If you say 100% black, you shoot yourself because there's no 100% black drug game.
I'm talking about just getting your drugs. And once you buy whatever you buy, take everybody else out. Now, what are you doing with your money? Where you putting it? That's what I'm talking about.
So I got you. So listen me out. So if you hear me out, this is where you messing up, or you kind of putting yourself you pinning yourself in the corner. In order to get the drugs, black people always had to outsource from another race or group of people.
Exactly.
We've never. All right. So don't say just
buy
strictly
it.
black.
Okay, you buy it. Now give it to people like Beans. What do they do with the money? Because he's making it seem like the guys who he knows.
Yeah.
He's saying that the little bit of people he knows are making a big difference in the economy. That's what I'm talking about. That's my whole point. No, leave everybody else out. That's what got me kind of triggered. That's what I'm talking about. Now
Right. See,
go.
that's a straw man right there, right? So,
Oh my God.
Well, no, you did a bait and switch, Beans.
Change
Hey,
the
Beans, you
subject.
did a
I'm
bait
done.
and switch.
No,
You did a bait and
I'm
switch,
done.
Beans.
I'm done. That's
here's
why I
the
said
thing.
low level.
If he's talking about Botox, is that a hood thing or is that a national thing? It's a national thing.
Okay.
That's
See,
why.
Beans.
Hold on, B Dub.
Right?
That's why I
if
made
we
the
rewind
example.
tape, right? I'm not gonna stop talking because I don't care about you talking.
All right.
If we
You
rewind
can't
the tape
answer it.
right now, you know what you're gonna hear me say? I said we can present evidence that the drug game did a lot for the U.S. economy.
All right. Okay. Thank you, sir. But like I gave the analogy.
So where's the
when I
bait and
said,
switch?
all right. When I said Scarface, Boston George, and I said Ace Boogie, AZ, they had money in the bank. AZ, Ace Boogie, and Alpo had their money up under the bed somewhere because they was anti-banking. Because I said most drug dealers in America, black ones, black, are anti-establishment, anti-bank. You put your money in a shoebox or a mattress or a bag. That's all I was saying, sir.
Absolutely.
And we got the evidence to prove it. It ain't nothing to get mad about.
To that claim by
Hey, Beans, can I get in here, Beans, real quick?
We know that's the truth.
Beans, let me get in here real quick. What me do?
Hold on.
Rick Ross said the same thing.
Eric, hey, hold on. Let him finish. I understand, like I said, if you guys are gonna go back and forth or whatever, so on and so forth, don't like bombard him where he's trying to respond to two people at once. Let whoever says what he has to say, let him respond. Then you go. You guys have the one-on-one. That way, everybody's keeping track, and we can hear everybody, and so on and so forth. So,
I just have a question.
Well, hold on, Dub.
All right.
Beans, respond to Eric, and then Dub, you go, and then AFR, you can have your back and forth. And I gotta get real in here. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what I was saying was my response to when he said that was that
said what?
The way that we look at it, what he just said. The way that we look at it is that when we think about the drug dealer, we think about the 10 guys that's on the corner, right? We don't think about the entire game itself. That's the problem when I make the statement that the drug game did a lot for the American economy. The problem is that you're looking at the 10 guys on the corner. Rewind the tape, I said that. And then after that, I said, but even a lot of those guys have jobs and a lot of other guys still have jobs. And then I tried to, while I was being interrupted, go into the fact that a lot of the guys that are the quote unquote plugs also own businesses. And then I tried to get into, while being overtalked, that the fact of the matter is that the drug game in itself was a money laundering game. And where do you launder money? Through jobs and business. Through businesses and banks. Yeah. So when you try to make it seem like nobody was putting their drug money in the bank,
I didn't say that. Sir. I didn't say that. I was talking about the guys you associated with. That's all I was saying. And when I said that,
but was I just talking about the guys I associated with?
No, I'm just saying you making it seem like
absolutely. Eric, answer my question. Was I just talking about the guys I associated with? Yes or no?
That was the interpretation I got earlier.
How if I'm talking about the drug market and how it affects the U.S. economy?
Before you clarified it. That's it. You clarified it. Thank you. That's all.
That's great. No, y'all just don't listen, bro.
Now,
And
did
that
my
shit is
did my did,
frustrating, bro.
did my examples make sense when I compared Scar, even though they're fictional characters,
Yeah.
the other races like Scarface, Boston George,
Yeah.
and whoever I said compared to the black dudes in the hood, did it make sense?
No, it
How did it
absolutely made sense.
with the movies and what they said out of their own mouth? That's all I was saying. So that's
Absolutely.
it.
But you were
Okay,
you were
thank you.
trying to minimize it to that. And that's what I'm saying. Instead of arguing, instead of just trying to get your point across,
It was a
listen to
comparison.
understand.
It was a
All
comparison,
I'm
not
saying, okay,
minimizing
fine, you
nothing.
got it, bro. You got it. You got it. You
Because
win.
the comparison is proof, actual proof
Mhm.
that they say out of their own mouth, which you can see on the TVs in a documentary, right?
Mhm.
Thank you. That's all. That's all. Next person go.
I'll try to
I just
be as
want to say
quick
this
as
one
possible.
thing.
Well, no,
Go ahead.
I'm yeah, I'm gonna be as quick as possible so we can move on from this. Here's the problem I had, and I keep saying you did a bait and switch because Eric was being very clear about what he was saying about when we're talking about just black people. You try to switch it out and then start talking about, because the thing about it, it's common freaking sense, and you didn't say anything extraordinary, Bean. So here's why: is because we always know people that there's a hierarchy in the drug game. And when you're black and you're in the higher echelon, whatever, to be like the plug, or if you are a person that has your quote unquote drug business and you have assets, whether it's a business or you have a job that pays pretty decent, and you are smart and I would say you're sophisticated enough to take the funds you get and invest it in, whether it's real estate or what a stock, whatever the hell. Okay, most dudes just don't do that, whether it be white or black. But we're talking about black people. They give it away to chicks, they waste it, whatever. So we already know there's these other guys that are in the hierarchy that are black that do these things. Okay, so yes, but they're in the minority. So it made no sense for you to bring up, all these other races of people that don't. Okay, Beans, hold on, relax. It made no sense to bring up all the other races of people that are embedded in the drug game that already have, like, literally they get capital from like countries sometimes to like start their operations or whatever. We don't have that luxury. So the thing about it is that like this stuff is like, or crime, or I would say the drug game is just a story of economics. Miami is a very unique case because their proximity to like the trading, the ports and all that stuff from Colombia, from Peru, from all those places, and also the population of people that were inhabiting the place, and they were getting more and more people from Central South America and Cuba and all those places to live in the United States. So all that together made the story of Miami. It wasn't just drug money built the place. There were several things at play that made it all happen. If one of those elements weren't there, Miami probably looked totally different from what it looks today. So,
okay, so you said it was a
anyway,
bait and switch. So you said it was a bait and switch, sir. What was the bait?
Okay, listen, we're trying to talk about black people. You tried to make it seem like we were talking about something we weren't, trying to make us look crazy. And then you kept putting in the drug kingpin argument, which we weren't even trying to make that. You were just trying to push in some common stuff since everybody knows. Like we all know.
So you're saying it was y'all conversation?
No, we're just saying you switched it
Okay, so
around
then
to talk
again, I'm
about
gonna ask you really
global.
quickly. Hold on, he don't need help.
No,
Yo,
well, I mean, he's correct.
I'm gonna
He's
ask you
correct.
really quickly, sir.
Y'all talking
What
about
was the
China and all
bait?
that crazy crap.
You said I did a
China
bait
and Russians
and switch. So what was the bait?
We can move on, man. It's okay.
Yeah,
Let me be there.
Beans,
I'm
you got it,
sorry.
Beans.
Here's
Yeah,
what I'm
Beans.
saying.
Beans, we got it.
When people are broke,
Me and Eric understand each other. We were talking about the same thing, and
when people are
you.
fat, we cool to say that people are fat. When girls are delusional, it's cool to say that girls are delusional. But when people are stupid, it needs to be okay to say that people are stupid, right?
We'll take. Listen,
Here's the thing. If you notice,
just
Mr.
let it go.
Fantastic,
Let 'em
all
go.
while they were talking, I didn't say shit. Ever since you said let everybody finish, I didn't say a fucking thing. And you see how
Actually,
they
I was talking and you jumped in, but
jumping
go
over
ahead,
me,
bro.
right? You see how he keep jumping now? That whole time when he was talking, I ain't say shit, right? And then Eric want to keep doing it too, right? Because they know they're wrong. Here's exactly what happened. AFR made a statement about the fact that there was nothing good that came out of the street the street drug game. And I said, you
For
know what, I
black
hate when
people as a
people say
collective,
that,
and they didn't.
because even if we provided you with evidence that there was something good that came out of the street drug game, you still wouldn't accept it. For example, if I
never
showed
answered that.
that
You
the
talk.
drug game was good to the American economy, you wouldn't accept it. That's how that was introduced. Checkmate. You're fucking retarded.
y'all said Miami, and he just
You're
broke Miami
retarded. I didn't
down.
say shit.
He
Mr.
just broke.
Fantastic said that. And
He
AFR,
said
you're fucking retarded.
he
Straight
just
up.
said he broke
So
the
Look,
Miami thing
That's how
down.
that
So
got introduced into the conversation.
yeah, so all right, so let me get real in here.
You
Then we
thought
can
it wasn't
Can
nothing
I get
good
my?
that came out.
Oh
of
yeah,
the
no,
street
Doug,
game.
yeah, Doug,
I
go
think
ahead, Doug.
Dub had a
Go ahead, Doug.
go ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some clarification for the people that are. We all know the drug game was destructive, right? We get it, but is the criticism of black involvement in the drug game that we were involved, or that we waste the money? I'm trying to. What's the argument?
The criticism is that people are trying to make like they did more good more good than harm. That's what they're trying to make it seem like.
But what I keep hearing is like, oh, they bought cheap foreign cars and they tricked off on girls and all that stuff.
That's
So
the
so
stereotypical black male. That's what
I
he
got it.
does.
I got it. But I'm saying, so if they had took that money and invested in businesses and bought real estate, would it have made it better? I'm trying to. What is the problem? How
Actually,
did
yeah.
you?
Actually, yes. Actually, yes.
Checkmate.
yeah, that would have been
So,
better.
so you don't have a problem with them selling drugs. You have a problem with what they did with the
No,
property.
no. I do have a problem with the selling drugs. It's just that it didn't. The thing about it, it would have been better if they would have done good things with that capital, but they did not. It just went to destruct our communities more, and that's the bigger freaking tragedy. Okay, like yes, selling drugs is wrong, but of course it would have, the conditions would have been better and more palatable if they would have invested it, and it would have benefited us,
So you
like
don't
other
have an
races and
issue
people.
with the involvement.
I
You have an
do.
issue with the problem.
I'm just pointing out the fact that it went terribly wrong in the worst ways, and it sucks. And people are acting like that it didn't they're trying to minimize it more than they should.
But if it's destructive, it's destructive, regardless of what they do with the money, right?
Okay, here's an example. If there's all those 10 dudes on the corner, their little bit of drug proceeds or whatever, if they would have, instead of buying Jordans and all that stuff, if they would have lived below their means and kept circulating that money in the black community, it would have exponentially benefited almost everybody, because those dollars would have went to black people. So that's what I'm saying. Like it would have been more palatable, but it still would have been wrong.
And then that's supposed to be it, because you're supposed to sell drugs like maybe like Italians one generation, and that's it. Build a foundation and let it go, not make it a culture. And that makes it
Correct.
Exactly.
even worse.
Absolutely.
Not make it even a culture. So now we at a point now where it's a culture. Ain't none of them got no money these days, but they making it a culture, street culture. You supposed to one
But Bean
generation.
still won the argument. But Bean still won the debate because he established his argument, bro. He
Well,
established. See,
nobody
that's the
said
difference.
there weren't any people. Like I literally acknowledged that there were people that actually benefited off of it. I acknowledge that.
Yeah, sarcastically, right? This is what I'm saying.
It
He
just
talked
sounds
about
it just
Benzes and
sounds
Jordans and
hypocritical to
shit,
me.
right? Instead of talking about the bigger picture. See, it's not, they can't talk about the bigger picture when you're talking about black people. They can only talk about the
Because
bigger
we
picture when
don't,
you're talking about their
our
white
proof.
zaddy, right?
We
When you're
don't
talking
have the
about their white
proof.
zaddy, then they can
The
talk
And
about
we
bigger
know
picture is where the
and
store,
we know in
right?
the
That's the
debate, it's
bigger
not
picture.
about the truth. It's about what you can prove in a debate. We
Like
already all know this. It's really not even about the truth.
yeah, Miami's still standing. What
Oh, it
Miami's
should. You
still
should be
standing.
able to substantiate.
Miami is still standing from what the other races did for their people and drugs. So
Yeah, but
Absolutely.
look at our
what you got
communities.
what you got now for your drugs. So you want to compare
So let me
Miami?
let me
Oh
let me
So that wasn't
They
destructive
still
either.
Oh, I
hold on, my
got the
nigga.
perfect comparison.
Hold on,
what you got now?
hold on. I'm talking. So AFR, did you specify black when you originally asked the question, brother?
Which question?
Checkmate.
When you asked the question about the benefit of the drug game.
Yeah, I mean, I implied black. I may not have said black people in general, but I implied black, because most conversations I have is about black people.
I got you. So we're just trying to be in the thing. So Beans, he called out what you did, but I understand it. So if we stick into the black aspect up to it, Beans took you as what you literally said, which he can, because you guys are having a disagreement. And if you're taking it the literal sense of what he said, Beans is correct, like you said. And that's why we got to the whole thing in the Miami situation. When you having a conversation, be specific. That's all I'm gonna say. Now overall,
Gotcha.
for the aspect of the overall for the aspect of the thing, I don't think we can substantiate the black version of Miami. I just don't think we can do it. I don't think you can have, outside of the benevolent drug dealer around Christmas time with the turkeys and maybe a book bad drive. Yeah, to where just the hood
Facts.
kids benefit. I don't see the equivalent of the Miami for the black
Well,
community.
well,
Okay, that was my
see,
whole
this,
point.
this is
Yeah.
not hard. This is not hard, right? This is really easy. Fantastic. All I got to do is do one quick Google search, and it's gonna be what percentage of the property in Miami is owned by white people, right? Because according to the narrative, it was built up by the ethnics, right, and their drug game, right? But what percentage of it is owned by white people, right? And if we see that a majority of it is owned by white people, then I'm going to throw at you hip hop.
What? Hip hop?
Absolutely, because it's a
I
market.
don't fully disagree.
It's a market that we built up, and it was heavily built up with drug money. And even if once you start saying, yeah, but the white people own it, yeah, but the white people own Miami, right? And there's still a lot of big players in that market. A lot of people got to the bag in that market. A lot of families was provided for in that market. We got billionaires out of that market, right? So I'm just saying, I don't know for sure.
But that's the same reason. That's the same reason why I don't understand why we lean into degeneracy, if that's what you're talking about, because we missed on capitalizing on a lot of things in America as blacks. That's what if you go back to what Fantastic said, why the fuck do we keep leaning into the degeneracy of the culture? If you reach a certain level, I understand that there's levels to these things, right? And so, Beans, I feel you. I feel your pain. Like when a black man reaches a certain level, we're always being persecuted and looked down upon for a certain reason. I don't know why, but it's on us as a culture. If it's a we thing, it's on us as a culture to say, hey, we need to control our own narrative, because at least that. And if we ain't got the money, at least control our own narrative, because you know that we can't control how other cultures look at us. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wait. Are you saying that hip hop is degenerate?
Yes,
I'm not saying all of hip hop is degenerate, but now what? Yeah, nowadays the majority of hip hop is degenerate.
75%.
Yes, the fuck it is.
Yeah, 75%.
Okay, so I just want to gauge your mindset real quick.
Do you think that's true?
That's
Yes or no?
No.
Okay.
Artifacts. I just want to
not the art itself, Beans, but the acts.
That's why I want to ask you a question real quick. Here's my question: when they make mob movies, is that degenerate?
What aboutism? Let's go.
Oh my God! See, you keep that's what you did last time.
Everybody have their own.
Because I'm not using it. I'm not bringing it up to use it against them.
Yes, the mob was degenerate too.
Mindset. So you can let them answer. Artifacts. When they make mob movies, is that degenerate? Yes or no?
Not all of it.
Okay. So because I struggle with this, Artifacts, and that's why I just said no, right? Because I struggle with this. I think about it and I say, they made that movie Malcolm X with Denzel Washington. If they would have marketed the music as the movie as Red, right, then we would see it as a movie of this dude who was a pimp and a drug user and laid up with white women and all this and that. But they marketed the movie, right, as a guy who overcame and became who we know as Malcolm X. The music is marketed a certain way. In the beginning, they were marketing it as conscious rap, as what did they used to call it? Fantastic on the West Coast,
backpack and all that.
No, the West Coast stuff.
Gangster rap.
No, it's party rap.
Reality raps. I'm sorry. So reality raps, right? So it was seen as, oh, they're telling a story of their particular neighborhoods, and what it turned into was everybody just telling that story. Ain't no more Tribe Called Quest. Ain't no more De La Soul. Ain't no more none of that. You see what I'm saying? So it's very difficult for me with my connection to hip hop to just throw it completely under the bus like that. But if you argue that it's degenerate, I won't argue with you.
Okay,
right?
okay, Beans. What do you say about the
Hold on, Eric. I gotta get Rilla in here, and I got free game too.
Rilla, what up?
I got one question, Fantastic. Though.
No, bro. Wait, you just hold it, brother. Y'all I gave her extra time. Go ahead, Rilla. It's on you, fam. Appreciate your patience.
No, that's all good, man. I'm headed to the gig. I got so much to try. I can't believe y'all having a conversation around drug dealing.
but I hear you though. Hey, no, actually, I got a question for you, Fantastic, because Beans was on some bullshit the other day. We was reviewing Swagger Like Us, and I wanted to know from you, sir, who had the best verse on Swagger Like Us? That's the Tip
Kanye,
song. Yeah.
Kanye, T.I., Jay-Z was on
Wayne
there too,
and
right?
Jay-Z, yeah.
Yeah, and Lil Wayne.
2 Chainz?
No, just
Nah,
Wayne,
Lil Wayne.
Kanye, and Jay.
Oh, Wayne?
No one on the corner got swagger like us, swagger like us.
I
I
think
ain't
Tip
heard
had
that
the best
song in
verse.
so long, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I had to re-listen to it. But I don't know. All of them were at their prime at that time, so I don't know. I had to re-listen to it. I can't think about that song off the top of my head.
I actually think Tip had the best verse on that one.
That's
Tip had a good verse on that.
Hey, Dub. I was leaning. If I remember it right, like he was the last verse, right? He closed it out, right?
Yeah, it was his song.
Yeah, it was. I know it was his song. It was on Paper Trail, right? It was on Paper
Yeah,
Trail.
yeah. He closed it out.
So if I remember right, like I said, after all that shit, I think Tip closed it out quite. But
Yeah.
like I said, I literally hadn't listened to that song in years, bro.
Hey, Dub Will, who is Jeezy, Dub Will?
It's between him and Wayne.
It's like
I'm leaning
Wayne
toward Tip.
came in, how his entrance was. It was
Yes.
it was just, I mean, that's Wayne Prime,
That's
bro.
a fact, bro.
Yeah, Beans know where we landed. We landed on Wayne for the record. Yeah.
If I
We read the lyrics out loud. It was like, wow.
Yeah, Wayne snap.
I
Yeah,
can listen to it, but I'm from my memory, I'm gonna lean towards Tip.
yeah, we said T.I. was a little bit too wordy for that particular record. He was forcing a lot of words in there. And then I'm still trying to figure out who the hell is Jeezy.
Who is who?
Jeezy.
What you mean? Who is Jeezy?
So he said Wheezy, Yeezy, and then he said Jeezy.
Oh, how do you talk about?
Yeah.
I assume. I mean, in that song, I assume he meant Jay-Z.
He did.
Okay.
Yeah. I knocked points off of that.
There's only Jay. There's only Jay on the songs. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, look, fantastic. I'm gonna go on mute real quick, but listen, on the drug piece, fam. You know, the low level hustlers, the guys that standing hand in hand on the corner, I would agree, right? And I'm not even talking about the kingpin, because y'all skipped over BMF and the real freeway, Rick Ross, and even before then, Frank Lucas and what's the other Frank? It's another Frank too out of DC, I think.
Nicky Barnes.
Matthews.
Right. Yeah. So y'all, Frank Matthews. Yeah. Y'all skipped over all that, right? And those guys definitely had business. Matter of fact, when y'all named Scarface, if you was naming fiction, then you should have went to Snowfall, right? Because even he had to get into business and real estate to what? Launder his money. But I know just from my hood on my block, there was some cats, there was some twins, some buff ass twins when I was a shorty. I didn't know till I was grown that they was moving weight, because we just thought they owned a couple of buildings on the block, would come over, see they ladies and, you know, fix up their buildings and keep it moving. And we found out when we got grown that they was moving heavyweight. A lot of your laundry mats, a lot of your car washes, a lot of your hole in the wall delis and liquor stores. That's funded by drug money. You know, a lot of your politicians that ran for office were funded by drug money, fam.
Yeah,
I'm talking about black.
I was talking
Heroes.
about the bank aspect of it, to putting your money in the bank.
Yeah, they would have to.
That's what I'm saying. When I was saying the big, I was naming the guys, naming the black guys like in the movies, and you said free. Even Rick Ross on Vlad TV said it. He had all his money in his house. It's $3 million or whatever. That's all I was saying. That's what these guys say out of their mouths. Look it up right now on YouTube. They had the money in their house.
So
that's all I'm saying. The
that's cool.
anti-banking mentality.
Got you. Again, when you go to BMF, right, or when you go to, because BMF had lawyers and bankers on, and Big Meech and his brother Terry, Southwest T.
Okay.
They wasn't the only millionaires in BMF.
Okay.
Right. And who's the another one I was just thinking about? So I get the sentiment that most of them are what are you trying to say? You said most of them are anti-establishment, wouldn't put their money in banks and stuff like that. Again,
BMF had a record label.
If you go to Snowfall, how much time was Franklin spending in them banks?
I never seen that show.
I never seen that
Okay.
show not once.
Yeah, he spent time in the bank.
I'm
But
talking about
I'll
the
let y'all
real.
have it. I don't want to revisit. I'll let y'all have that. I don't want to boast
show
the beans argument on that shit.
All right, all right. Back. I want my hold on. One more
hold on,
question.
no, hold on.
My last question
when
about the
Beans is
rappers.
right.
Beans. Okay, about the rappers when you were talking about hip hop. Now, don't when somebody what's his name? The guy I think he just left Afro something. He was talking about degeneracy. Don't most Fat Joe, Jay-Z, most rappers say 98% of what they say is fake. So they're only saying fake things, and they promoting degeneracy to make billions of dollars off of black people. What do you say to that?
I would say I don't believe Fat Joe or Jay-Z when they say that because their history is documented in
I mean,
terms of
that's what
what
they
they did.
said.
I got you. Jay-Z also said it's only entertainment, right?
Okay.
It's just entertainment, right? So a lot of these cats I don't believe half of what come out their mouth. But I know we'll pick apart certain things to make the argument.
No, I'm just saying what
I,
Afro said about the degeneracy part. You saying what you saying. I mean, and besides, nobody is the biggest kingpin in the world. That's why they make fake movies on them. It's only like one of those guys every generation.
I got you. Stick to the
So
degeneracy parts. I'm trying to pick up what
yeah,
you're putting down.
Easy, we know Easy sold drugs, living in
Okay.
Compton. He put what 10,000, 15,000, and give whatever to make him and Jerry Heller go, and they pressed out
Okay.
some CDs and they went big. But I'm saying no, we knew that for a fact. But I'm saying most rappers will tell you, the ones who out now, everything is mostly fake. What we say,
Oh,
that's what
you
they
said
say.
98% of the rappers out now are
Realize
fake.
No, I didn't say 98. I said most of them who out now, and this is documented. Any clip you can bring it up, they'll say out of their mouths what they say about what they did has been fake.
Hey, you
right.
know the feds
If
watching,
wait,
right?
wait, hold on, please, brother,
All right,
please,
all right,
please, brother,
all right.
please. If they're lying, how's it degeneracy?
Because you pushing a false narrative, and you got
Mhm,
these kids out here. I'm talking about what's his name? He just let Afro was saying. You
mhm,
got these kids out here going out to slaughter and shoot and blow each other brains out. 500, 600 kids in every city in America, from Compton to DC, Philly,
mhm,
Baltimore, Miami, Chattanooga, Memphis, Tennessee, New Orleans. You can keep picking cities.
mhm.
So that's what Afro was
Right.
saying about the
So
degeneracy. So why you got $1 billion,
right.
half a
So if it,
trillion? There's
come
no
on, man,
excuse
you have
for
to
it.
feel
But go
that.
ahead, I'm done. No, go, but go ahead,
If you, so let me ask you this: if all of that stuff that you're calling degeneracy, what if that's my real life and I do an album about it? I'm
Right.
pushing.
Okay, everybody.
Most
Like, what
definitely.
is y'all issue with answering questions? If that's
No,
my
no, say it
real
again.
life
No,
and I
say it
do an
again. Say it
album
again.
about it, am I pushing it?
We are. Yes, you are. We already know
Okay.
what your life is. Listen.
How do
It
you
ain't
know what my
nobody.
life is? You don't even know who I am.
Nobody's special, sir. Everybody know it. It don't take nothing to put nothing in the bag. Call a little connect or whatever you think a connect is, and bag something up, gram something up.
Like, am I
Everybody see.
justified now in using the word
No,
stupid?
no.
Bro, listen to what I'm asking you.
Everybody seen their cousins or
You don't
uncles or
know
brothers sell
me. You
drugs.
don't
It
know who
doesn't
I
matter.
am. I
It
go into the
doesn't, sir.
studio. I make an album, and now
Okay.
I'm selling my album. I'm trying to do something different. I'm an artist. This is what I do. I make music, and I'm making music about my real life. So you saying
Okay.
You're
me
just a
making music about
degenerate
my
artist.
real life
And
is
what's
me
the?
pushing it? Yes or
Okay.
no?
What? Yes. What's
Okay,
the
cool,
real?
cool,
Okay.
cool,
Yes.
cool,
Now, what's the
cool,
real life?
cool, cool,
Explain the real
cool,
life to me.
cool. Whatever the degeneracy is that you're talking
Okay. No,
about.
no. Say it, because I want to hear something I never heard
Whatever
before.
you're talking about, whatever
Okay.
that is, whatever
I
that
want you
is.
to explain the degeneracy.
I
I
don't
want
have
you to.
to. You know what
Okay.
you're
All
talking
right.
about when you
All
say
right.
it.
All
That
right.
doesn't make any
Okay.
sense. That stalls the conversation.
Okay. I
You know
want to
what you're
hear
talking
something.
about when you say it. So I'm
I,
saying whatever that is, that's what I'm making an album about.
all
Now,
right. Okay.
here's the
All
thing.
right.
Now, that's not my real lifestyle. And if I make the music and I put it out, I'm also still pushing it, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So basically, you're saying that these type of people don't deserve, or let me not say basically, you're saying, would you say that then these type of people don't deserve representation in the media?
What type of people? People who are
The
damage the
degenerates.
community? No, they don't deserve. They should be castigated and outcast. That's what they should be. Because they do
Okay.
more damage than harm. Like Afro was saying, they do more damage than harm, no matter how
Right.
you spin it.
So, okay, cool. So let me ask you this question.
Okay, cool. You
Should
agree
that
with
be
me? Go ahead.
universal then? Let's say I agree with you. Should that be universal? Should
Yes.
any sector of
Yes.
people who do more harm than good be castigated or whatever else you said?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So that includes politicians?
Yes, sir.
That includes the the medicinal field.
Medicinal what? What do you like?
Yeah,
Weed? Or,
what do they
Pharmaceutical
call it
companies.
again? The pill market. What is it called again?
you talk about
Big
Dr.
Pharma.
Big
Fauci?
Yeah,
Pharma.
big
Big
pharma.
Pharma.
Big pharma.
You
So that
talking
includes
about
big
people
pharma.
like Dr. Fauci? Like Dr. Fauci?
No, I'm
Yeah,
talking about
right.
like the Sackler family. I'm
I
talking
mean,
about the
whoever
people
that
who really
is.
got the
I
bag.
mean, whoever that is, sir. I mean, whoever
Right.
it is.
All the people who sell drugs that have these side effects that are ruining people.
Now you're switching it
So you
again.
want to get rid of McDonald's too, right?
It's oh my God. See, this what happened last time. This is what
He
I
does
Right.
it
happened.
all
You
the
said
time.
anybody
See,
who
He does
does
it all the
more harm
time.
than good. That's what
I
you
said
just said.
degeneracy, sir. Now you want to make. I said degeneracy, and now
He
you want
does
to
it all the
respond.
time.
I see you
Okay,
doing it
but
again.
sir, wait a minute,
Now I
wait.
gotta
See,
go.
this is what
Now
I'm
I gotta
saying.
leave.
This
Now
is
now see
bullshit
you're
that you
not
do. I asked you
you're
a
not an
specific
intellectual man.
question and you answered it. I asked you that people who, because you said who does more harm than good. So
It
I
was
asked you,
You
is that
said
universal to anybody who does more harm than good? Don't let this stupid person convince you that I'm the stupid one. Dog,
no.
you
You
said
start
it.
talking about
I'm
McDonald's,
questioning
sir.
you on what you said out of your mouth.
No,
Like
you're
We
not
went.
stupid.
play
You're
the tape
just
back right
pseudo.
now.
Yeah.
We can
We
play the
went
tape back
from.
right now. I asked you said out of your mouth the people who do more harm than good.
Okay, we went from degeneracy, rap music, and the
Yes or
effects,
no? Did you
negative
say the people who
effects,
do more harm than good?
and now he went to he
Yes
went
or
to
no? Did you
pharmaco.
say the people who do more harm than good?
Hey, I'm done, man.
I
You
know
done
you are because you ain't
because
gonna
you're not
never admit
because
that you said it. You said it. So how
I
the fuck
said
am
it.
I the one being disingenuous by questioning you on what you
I
said?
said it, but you all over the place, sir. You're not
I'm
an
not all over
intellectual.
shit. I'm
Yeah.
over what you
No,
said.
you
Then you start
transcend the
cursing.
Yes,
Yeah, then
conversation
you
on
start.
other
I'm over
stuff
what
we ain't
you said.
talking.
I'm all
He,
over the place when I'm
hey,
addressing what you said.
then he start cursing and getting emotional.
Absolutely. This
Hey,
isn't
listen,
emotion. This is
fantastic.
frustration with stupidity.
I want
I'm
to
gonna ask
talk
you
back.
again.
Hey,
How am I
uh,
all over the place if I'm addressing what you
all right.
said?
Hey, fantastic. I want to go back to
Exactly.
Caitlin Clark and what I originally
Yeah, I
came
bet
here
the
for.
fuck you do. Because
Yeah.
you're a dumbass.
Yeah,
I
listen.
bet the
Yeah.
fuck you do.
Hey, I want
Because
to
you're
speak
a
to.
dumbass.
I want to talk to Caitlin Clark, in the
Yeah,
Angel
I
Reese
bet you
thing
do. You
earlier.
Yeah,
gotta
I'd
talk
rather
to
move
it.
on
Yeah,
to.
let's move
I
on.
agree with Eric
Yeah,
Because
here.
you
this guy.
stupid as fuck.
Yeah,
I don't know why you aligned
yeah.
yourself with that dumb nigga.
All right,
Well, it's
all
not
right.
aligning. It's just beans.
It is because
You
you're
got the
fucking
same.
dumb.
You have the
Yeah.
same playbook, sir.
Everybody up here knows that you don't fucking like me and I don't like you. So everything you
Well,
said
it's
right
not
now
even
is gonna
about
be
me
critical.
liking you. You just have the same
But
playbook,
motherfucker, I
sir.
don't like you, so I ain't gonna pretend. You a
Fantastic.
clown ass, American ass,
Here we
fat
go.
ugly
See,
bitch
this
nigga.
Yeah.
this is why I don't like
In my
pookies
book.
like you because you
So
always descend to this.
absolutely.
Beans, I ain't
Because I don't
called you one
pretend
name. I
because I
haven't
don't
called
try to
you
be
one name,
passive
Beans.
aggressive like you. I don't be
Beans,
passive
I haven't called you
aggressive.
one name, Beans.
No, you
Yeah, you
And
don't
getting
have to.
emotional,
I don't
man.
like you. So
You
that's
getting
why I'm
emotional.
calling you names. Because I don't pretend with people
why?
when I
I
don't like.
barely speak to you, Beans. So
I know,
why should
bitch
you
ass
be name
nigga. That's how
calling?
I want to keep it. That's
Oh
exactly
my
how I want
god,
to
bro.
talk to you. Right?
Hey,
But
but
I'm saying to
Simp
bro and I
pips
was
are all
having
the
a real
same.
conversation. You
Temp
putting
pimps are
names
all
to
the
his neck
same.
and you ain't fucking listening.
You're
He
a
said out of
pseudo.
his mouth,
You went from drug dealing to your
people
own
who do
community
more
to
harm than
selling
good.
pseudo intellectual bullshit
Ask somebody else who
online.
don't fucking
That's
not
all it
who don't
is.
have an issue with me. Ask
hey,
Rilla right now.
fantastic.
Did you say people who do more harm than good? Ask
Fan,
Dub Will. Did you say people who do
all
more harm
right.
than good? Ask
Hey,
anybody else. You
hey,
said it.
hey,
So how am I
fantastic.
all over the place by addressing what you said?
All right,
I'm not.
fantastic.
You're
I
stupid.
think no, fantastic. I think RG3 and Ryan Clark. I think both of them had good points with the thing because you got to have some type of balance when it comes to basketball and sports commentating. And I think
Stick to basketball.
And you never got through name
the
in
girl
niggas.
got the girl got tired of the WNBA putting a hit out on her. I just seen another clip where Caitlin Clark got damn near tackled by another girl from a different team, and she happened to take her frustration out on Angel Reese. And people, it's always a racial thing, but I just think that people like blown out of proportion, and I
Well,
think
she be
both of them.
kissing black women's ass every time she get a chance. So I don't even
Hey,
Yeah,
know.
fantastic! Fantastic!
yeah.
Did you speak on this? Fantastic! I'm really curious to know what you think about it because I prefer the Magic and Bird era where niggas was really hooping. You know what I'm saying? Or really, really, really physical with it. So I don't get what all the uproar is about.
It's racial. It's 100% racial because they jealous of
Well, no,
that
no, no.
girl.
No, I don't
Hold on.
think Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark is race. Go ahead.
That's
So the
racial.
thing is, Let me. So the thing is, Rilla, is that was based on hooping, and race was a secondary thing, right? You had two all-time great, all talent, you know what I'm saying, multi-generational talented players that were able to make it happen. The WNBA is trying to recreate this with a false premise. Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, so that's the problem here. So now you got to focus too much on the racial aspect of it, and especially when it's not there. So when they asked and when they
I agree with that. Yep.
They actually talked to Angel Resse or whatever and her coach. No one actually heard it. They heard it after the fact. They were told that it happened. So no one actually heard that it happened. That's per Angel Risse's own mouth. The coach, the same thing. He didn't hear it happening. People told them that it was happening. And the WNBA being on that woke shit, bro, just and like I said, trying to get to the point and them purposely trying to pretty much tone down the importance of Caitlin Clark and the popularity of Caitlin Clark. That's the craziest part to me.
Wait, fantastic. You said
I thought they was gonna lean into that.
What's the name? Bird and Magic. You saying you think the racial component was secondary?
Yeah, the racial component to that was secondary.
Yeah, for that time,
but it's number one for niggas like you, Beans.
Because
like, why would you say then that Boston wouldn't draft Magic?
Well, no. So this is
maybe,
the thing, right?
Maybe it wasn't a good fit.
Well, no.
He's talking about them competing.
Yeah, my understanding was who did Magic win in college or Bird win in college?
Yeah.
He played at Michigan State. Yeah,
Magic won in college.
Magic won
in college, right?
Yeah.
But they competed in college too. Yeah, they competed against each other.
Yeah. So when Boston had and was Larry was there a year before, man. They didn't get drafted.
No, they drafted him the year before, but he stayed for his extra year of college. So they drafted him in '79, and he ended up playing that year in tournament versus Magic.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. But they didn't get drafted in the same. They weren't in the same.
No, they wasn't drafted in the same year. No.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
But they started the league in the same year, right?
They started the league at the same time, though.
Yeah, because Magic won championship his rookie year, and then Bird won next year.
But that's what sets it off. Beans, when you asked that question, that's why I was a little confused. I was trying to make sure I had my history right. So being that they couldn't draft Magic because Magic hadn't declared. So that's why Boston didn't have the opportunity to draft.
I don't think that's how it went. I'm not sure if that's how it went back then. I'll look it up real quick. But they drafted him the year before he came in. So they could have. I feel like they could have did the same thing with Magic. It was Bird for a reason.
Because Magic actually sat down with the Lakers for the whole thing. Remember, they had a show called Showtime where they was chronicling it. So now he drafted the same year he declared. That's what I'm saying. Because he was telling them, hey, if you don't give me the money I want, I'm gonna go back to college. So, but either way, right?
You sure that was Magic?
Yeah, positive.
Okay.
But hear me out. So, what was I saying? So the reason why it was because you already had like the racial aspect of it is just the fact of the matter as to where you had white players, you had black players. The NBA was on its last leg, right? So it's the same thing to where you had this carrying over from a college following, someone that was so good in college that they brought their fan base with them, right? And then you go to one of the bigger markets, and then you get the other guy on the opposite market. So, like I said, it was more.
But you know the narrative around Boston, though. Fantastic.
Well, no, but at the same time, like you say, you had Bill Russell there. That's the grandfather of all black basketball players. So I feel you. I definitely there's racial undertones and racial things, but when you're talking about the league wide, that's the problem. Being so if once you move outside of Boston and you get to the Atlantas, you get to the LAs, you get to the other places and so on and so forth. That's where it kind of loses footing of it being the whole racial thing. It was just you had these two guys that were fucking extremely good. My bad, man. Extremely good. In the
take a piece of this though, fantastic. What if that was the whole plan though? What if that was the plan from the beginning? Nothing sells better than white versus black, right? Like I'm not saying they did it on some racist shit. I'm saying they did it as a plan, right? To say, hey man, listen, nothing sells better than this black and white thing, right? Like it just is what it is. So how about we make sure these two story franchises do what they do? You draft this kid a year early. He ain't even coming in this year, but you go ahead and get the rights to him now. And then next year, I don't even remember how the Lakers ended up with the number one pick, but they did, right? And so then you get Magic, and now you got the white kid going to this place that's, come on, it's Boston, right? White as hell. Then you got Magic out here in LA with the Showtime thing going on, right? And now look at that. They went to every finals in the 90s. One of them was in it. Oh, and I'm sorry, in the 80s. One of them was in it, right? So it's like, and they both went to teams that was already nice. right? Like, so it's like I'm saying it from that component, not that it was racial. Like, I don't want that nigga over here. I'm saying like, nah, let's set this up and sell this matchup, black versus white. You see what I'm saying?
But you think they led with that, Beans? That's
Nah,
I mean,
yeah,
I
it
agree
was
with Fantastic. I think that was secondary to the fact that you got two really good talents and you already got a story there from them competing in college.
The
Yeah.
college rivalry was there from, and it was off of like, Indiana, of course, right, and then the Michigan thing, but that I think it was a pre-existing rivalry more so than
it
just
was.
And they were actual rivals. They were going head to head. Like Caitlin Clark, Angel Resse. Angel Resse is not that girl's rival.
Yeah,
I mean, what are we saying?
he's not. She's not in the same position. She can't guard her. It's none of that shit. The talent
I mean,
level.
by the media, if you let the media tell it, she is.
She's
yeah,
not.
We talking
But that's why he's saying they forced
eyes.
it. I figured they would have leaned into it and played it a little bit. They could. I still think they could have played off of it because there's a story there. But yeah, I think they leaning into the woke aspect and the racial component too much.
I think it would have fizzled out because at some point you gotta show up on the court. I mean, you can do all the commercials.
Well, that part too. Yeah.
I mean, but if you got one joker that's hitting 30% of her layups and the other one's balling out, I mean, come on.
Look, I need Angel Resse to get off Lonely Fans and actually.
That's the WNBA's fault. The WNBA has a problem with that. That the marketing. Somebody definitely. That's why I say they need to fire whoever the commissioner is. Put somebody in there. The rivalry you want. The rivalry you want is Angel Wilson versus Caitlin Clark.
Right.
It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen.
That's the obvious thing. Angel Wilson is the best player in the league right now. Okay, so let's build that rivalry up, and then she'll pass the torch to Caitlin Clark. But this is the WNBA.
They downplaying her too tough, man.
Right.
Yeah,
like this. But they'll fuck it up. They'll fuck it up.
But you see her deal. Her shoe she released. Fantastic.
Wilson, yeah, they sold out. She sold out.
Yeah, she cold with it. Yeah, she cold with it.
She got like a good girl. She got like a little good girl reputation.
KD in here. So you know what's fucked up though, Rilla? She made it seem like Nike was putting her on the back burner, and the whole time she knew they had the fucking shoe in production. The bitch lied, making it seem like they were giving Caitlin Clark all this money, and they were.
Hey, you got to force with their hand.
And she ain't got to see. She wearing Kobe still.
Hey, that shoe business, it's a dirty game with a nasty name, man. Nike be bullying folk, man. I ain't mad at that move. If that's what she did, I ain't mad at it, man. You got to make them drop the sneaker, man. It's like you got to force them to drop the album or something, man. Nike be playing.
It's a cold game. I can't believe they got these men all around the YouTube sphere talking about women's sports. 2 years ago, I couldn't get niggas to talk about
it. Look, they showing up to the games in Chicago, man. I actually want the girl to ball out, but she need to stop auditioning for Lonely Fans, man, for real.
Come on, stop talking about my cousin like that.
Yeah, listen.
Hey, give it 3 years.
No, that's really my cousin.
That's why she's not playing that good because she focused on other things outside of basketball.
Yeah, hey, look, when that girl, she a dog when she get to it. She talked about being raised in Baltimore, and we talk shit, and that's just what we do.
Hold on. She's not from the hood in Baltimore, though.
Oh, okay.
She's from the county side.
Yeah, dog. Now you finna start snitching. Now you finna start
county
snitching.
side. That's a whole different world.
Now, hey, Beans, he finna start doxing now.
No, listen. I live in DC. The county side and the city side way different than
What you talking about?
She's from
Orange
County? Mills. She's from Orange Mills.
Yeah,
but she ain't hooping in the city.
That's about 20 miles. That's
about
25
not
miles.
Owens Mills. I know about my little Owens Mills. Now I remember that. I was in Maryland that's my first.
Hey, just so y'all know though, y'all are celebrating and touting masculine ass women.
Well, no, you do this as a sport.
I mean, that's a sport.
So what? What do they keep saying? They can't go to work and be masculine and turn it off when they come home.
I gotta
get manosphere big.
Yeah, that's not masculine.
Fantastic.
I don't hold on. Let me say this real quick. I don't fuck with the WNBA at all. I told you, and I said this before you got here. These niggas forced me to talk about the fucking WNBA because you got 2 niggas. Okay? So I hate the fact. I hate the fact that I could kindly and fucking peacefully go from not caring about the fucking WNBA to hating it because niggas keep talking about a girl that's a horrible fucking hooper and comparing her to one that's actually fucking good. So yeah, I really hate niggas for this shit, Beans. Thanks for reminding me. But pregame, go ahead, brother. What you got?
Here's what I got to say about the
and the Ryan Clark and RG3 situation. Now, RG3, he do be saying some wacky shit sometimes, but nobody took up for RG3 when he came out on a limb for Shador.
Said wacky.
He just defended Shador, talked about the NFL. Nobody had his back with that. No black man was outraged. They didn't come for his, they didn't take his side of the story or whatever. They didn't take his side in that argument with Shador in the NFL. But when he came to Angel Reese, they jump on him, saying that he was a coon and all this and all that. But when he actually defend black men, nobody was there.
So you
Yeah,
saying this is a red pill response?
yeah, because you're not supposed to make black women mad. You're not supposed to say nothing. They're benevolent unicorns. You're not supposed to say nothing ever in your life to criticize a black woman. That's why everybody jumped on them. And
So
all the matriarchal minded men attacked him. That's how it goes. If it was on the street, he'd probably got his ass killed for no reason.
Oh,
He
that
deserved to get
okay. Yeah,
killed.
now I know what
I
y'all
don't
talking
deserve to
about.
kill, but I
Okay.
don't
I'm just
respect him
saying,
dating a
you're not
white
supposed to
woman.
make the black woman mad. You're not supposed to
let,
criticize her ever in life.
let
That's
me
why they got
finish.
mad at him.
So he was critical of Angel Reese,
Who?
RG3.
He
Yeah,
said that he hated that
Oh.
Angel Reese hated her, hated Clark.
yeah. He gave it a fair assessment and gave substantial examples of her, having a personal hatred for Caitlin Clark. But let me get KG in here, man. Then I'm gonna see
Hold
y'all
on,
over
hold
here.
on, fantastic. I'm not done yet. I'm not done.
Go ahead, brother. Sorry, go ahead.
So RG3 takes up for Shador. Nobody says nothing. Then you have Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark, I don't know if he liberal. I don't like he be crying and stuff all the time. I'm like, Ryan, bro, just chill out. But here's the thing with Angel Reese. While she was at LSU, black men had her back. Now, when she was going through all the white men was commenting on her and saying all type of negative stuff about her for no reason while she was in college, she goes on social media and say and like this girl comment and repost it, I think, or something like that, defending black men, black women looking happier when they're in relationship with white men. So she traded all her fans in when she took the side of the white man when it was black men that was going to bat for her. Black men was buying her jerseys and everything. And so she turns her fan base against her own self. And then she started wearing all these revealing clothes, looking more like a prostitute than a basketball player. And I know her cousin on here, but I apologize for being real and being straightforward. She put more into this image than basketball. And that's why black men have gravitated to Caitlin Clark. And so, with that being said, Angel Reese needs a new PR team. She needs to stop trying to do this podcast shit and take basketball serious. And she whoever is advising her to go against black men, because she have said multiple things about black men. Whoever advising her needs to be fired.
That's the comment section. Got her talking like that.
She hanging out with go to Chicago, hang out with G Herbo. Bro, what are you doing? That's all I.
All right, cool. KG, what you got, fam?
Basically, this is what black women are been on. So it's no difference between her and any other young black woman. Like, this is what they've been programmed to be. So, like, yeah, that's my family, but I'm gonna keep it real. I don't like the shit I have to see. I don't even like even saying that that's my family because then I don't have to defend how she's wearing the revealing clothes and stuff like that. That's not what, and I'm an Israelite, so I'm gonna keep it real. But I'm not gonna go to the other side with Clayton Clark because she's the devil to me. So I'm not gonna play. I'm gonna be real on both sides. What she's doing is wrong. Caitlin Clark do play better basketball than my cousin. I'm just gonna keep it real on both sides. I'm not gonna pick and choose.
How's she the devil though? You said the devil? What do you mean by that?
White, being she's an Edomite.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, how can you walk around with your clothes off like that or dressing like that and talk, but you mad because you being sexualized? I remember she had said that a while back. That's crazy.
Well, no, man. Like I said, at the end of the day, dog, the ultimate combo that was had was two brothers that had a conversation. One was speaking professionally, and the other dude responded with personal attacks, bringing up his family. Again, man. I say this all the time, bro. I no matter how much or whatever the fuck I go on with somebody, I'm only gonna talk about your stupid, dumb, ugly, whatever ass, right? I'm not gonna bring your kids into it, your wife or so on and so forth, unless she puts herself in it or you put her in it, and you're trying to, you know what I'm saying? As long as you keep her out of it, I'm gonna keep her out of it. And I never do the kid shit. I don't play with other people's kids, man. I never do that, right? But Ryan Clark immediately went that route, and then it was revealed, right, to a lot of us that didn't know, because again, we're not looking at Ryan Clark to have a gotcha situation and so on and so forth. We look at him as a retired football player that now has a podcast and has the right to give his opinion on football specifically, but sports in general, because he played at the highest level. Now, when you start making all these assertions and all these claims about a black man not having the black experience and not understanding black women and all this shit and so on and so forth, then we come to find out you got a little half snow bunny yourself who was damn fine. I mean, very, very attractive young lady. Nothing bad about it. But it gives you, hey, I got a side eye of that shit, brother. You talking all this shit about RG3 and milk this and milk that, and brother, you done motherfucking literally made some motherfucking Oreos, my nigga. You feel me? So again, man, like I said, as what's name says, a lot of times the loudest are often the guiltiest. The people that have some of the biggest criticisms of certain things are at some point in time was a perpetrator. And I think this was Ryan Clark's sacrifice to the black woman deity, you know what I'm saying, to the black woman's altar by, getting this guy RG3 in line because he dared celebrate his white wife and the family that he got from it. But hey, man, it was a great convo. Shout out to Beans coming through. Shout out to all the brothers that came through supporting, man. I'm gonna see y'all over here to Hemp. Put a fantastic in the chat when y'all get over there, bro. It's gonna pull up at the end as soon as I end the stream. It's gonna just see you there. So just chill and relax. That's that on that one. Miss Fantastic 824 on all social media platforms. Catch y'all on the next one, man. Holla, we out.